Okay, let me, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah, I got to stop the music because we are now live. So it's time to do the intro.
Yo, did you guys know that Starbucks has a free section? I didn't know this. I walked in, right, and there was a bunch of coffees laying out there with these weird names. This coffee's called a Gabrielle, right? But it was free. I just picked it up and I walked out. They didn't even charge me. They didn't even charge me. Look, go get your free coffee. I think there was one called a Tony. There was one called a Susan. I think they were all just a bunch of names.
Elmo asked us one question.
Oh, yeah.
And good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, and it's time to talk about the events of the past week. Good morning, Tim. How are you, sir? I talk to you first because I can see your face.
I'm doing pretty good. Just recuperating from lack of sleep, but I'm getting there.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't there something about Ohio or some other state or something?
So yeah, I went to Ohio with some buddies, and we're planning to go back in April to certain locations for Superman. I was gonna say Superman Legacy, but I guess it's just Superman. Uh, yeah, we're planning to go to certain locations there and say hi to the cast and welcome them to Ohio and see
Yeah.
what we can do. Yeah.
Well. That's going to be very, very exciting. We're going to have to keep
Absolutely.
track of that. Where can people follow you on the YouTubes?
YouTube, you can find me at the youtube.com/the Joker's Corner, or you can find us, me and my husband, on Frightful Film Fiends. That's at Frightful FF. You can find us on YouTube, and we do horror reviews over there.
Because that's going to be really exciting stuff to see as they progress and move forward on the film that they're doing. So,
absolutely.
Bob, you were the first to arrive. Good morning,
Yes,
sir.
good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am good. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing too exciting, just nice and laid back and relaxing, but excited to be here and talk about the week's events and see what's up with everybody.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Gray, good morning, sir.
Good morning as well to you. Yeah, this weekend has been kind of amazing. I didn't anticipate getting like a free ticket to Dune 2, and my God, I'm just blown away. I didn't have as good as an experience as you. I don't have the bucket, but that being said, it was still amazing.
So you passed up on your commemorative Dune 2
They
fisticuff?
didn't have it at my place. I tried to get it. All they had was a Ghostbuster one. It's like, it's not nearly as fun.
Oh, that's a shame.
But yeah.
What's going on in the comments? Oh, it's just Fightful Film Friends. Those guys are always, following me everywhere I go. It's good to see you guys at Fightful Film Friends. Follow them as well on the YouTubes and the Twitters as well, because they are, and Gray. Good to see you there. Look at this. We got the comments going right there. Look at that. Nice to see you. Something to be excited about later on. We will be playing Gartic Phone. We're going to be playing Gartic Phone this time around, and maybe we'll have some of the people in the comment section join us. So, if you want to play, just let us know. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see if we can't put the link up for everybody to join up later on. As we know with the Dune Cup, of course, it is literally a hole where you get corn, making it a corn hole.
Oh,
Simply enchanting.
Which goes in line with all of the jokes that are out there, but this happens to be fact.
Beavis and Butthead would be proud.
Yes. It also doubles as a massive cup holder.
Oh, wow!
I didn't think it was that big until I got it, and I was like, "Wow, this thing is way bigger." Because I was looking,
That's
it's like,
what she
how are you
said.
going to get your hand through there? But
That's
yeah,
what she
exactly.
said. So, you come out of the movies with these big old giant drinks. You don't have a cup holder big enough for it, but if you went to see Dune, you are well prepared when you leave the theater. And it also doubles as a Sarlacc pit.
That's amazing.
Certainly
That is
Hilarious.
awesome.
if you're wondering where the Sarlacc pit came from originally, Dune did it first. So there's that little
Absolutely.
tidbit for you. So later on, we will be doing reactions and box office numbers and take a look at that. We might also be talking about Booster Gold, or with Chris Pratt, he might be
Yeah.
Booster Old.
Uh,
Are we pulling
I
a
see what you
last
did
week
there.
now? Oh no.
So you never know. He actually, when you jump into the AI, it does a pretty good job of making a Booster Gold Chris
Absolutely.
Pratt. So it may just work out better than the Guy Gardner. So there's that. And let's see.
poor Chris Pratt. Why does he get hounded so much? This guy
Well,
gets so much hate for everything he does.
the thing
Best
about
Mario
Chris,
ever.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you compare him to?
I compare him to the guy who did the voice for like 90 years.
Oh,
So
couldn't even tell the
Compare him
difference.
to Bob Hodgkins, and then you're like, oh, well, he's not so bad.
oh yeah. Oh, you mean Mario?
Yeah, Mario.
Exactly.
No. All right. While we're at it, let's start with that then. Chris
Let's get the
Pratt
old
is
fuck
Chris
out of
Pratt, no matter where Chris Pratt is at. Whether he's stomping on mushrooms. Good morning, Austin. Good to see you here. Whether he's holding his hands up to dinosaurs, or he's telling jokes in an office, Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if people enjoy who you are. Because everybody loves, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is Robert De Niro no matter what he's doing.
Yes.
Hey, you want me to meet your family? I'll meet your family. Hey, you want me to knock this guy off? Hey, you want me to box this guy over here? Hey,
Yeah, and
he
his
just
character in Joker 2019 was his most accurate. That was the one that was the most Bob De Niro out of all Bob De Niro characters.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's the second time he's done that movie.
Right.
True.
So, but at least he aged up into a different role, so that's nice.
Hey, he played a Fokker 3 times, so.
That is true.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those movies?
I do remember that
Sure.
Fokker. And we might be able to get Gray to tell us a joke this week, but who knows? We may try that later.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not into the whole humor thing.
You're not into the whole joke. Maybe I can get you to say the preceding program was brought to you by the following.
Oh, please.
I do enjoy that. Yes.
So do you think he'll make a good Booster Gold, or will he just be a distraction?
I mean, I would think that to me, he screams more of a Booster Gold than, like you said, than a Guy Gardner or anything like that. I mean, I think like that is actually a role that is like right up his alley. Now, it might just be Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt for however long he's in a movie for, but I mean, I think that's actually kind of geared right towards him, really. That whole kind of overinflated ego of a Booster Gold who I don't know, that that just seems more of an embodying character for him than, I don't know, than let's say him like taking on a role like, I don't know, like a remake of an Indiana Jones or something. I see him. I don't know. I could close my eyes and see Chris Pratt as Booster Gold. Really.
I think there's this comedian out there who I think would probably do a better Booster Gold, because I don't think you're supposed to necessarily like Booster Gold, like Guy Gardner. You're not really supposed to like him. You're supposed to enjoy his antics, and whenever he gets his comeuppance, you're supposed to really enjoy that. But you're not really supposed to like him as much as he tries to.
So
You
wouldn't
know what
that
I'm
make
saying?
Chris Pratt perfect then?
No, because they just don't like him.
Oh, okay.
That's,
I was gonna say perfect for the haters who don't like him, but then if he plays an a-hole and he is
it's
likable, he's supposed to be like Han Solo before the Heart of Gold.
yeah, he's having the same problem that The Rock is having right now. There's some people that are enjoying the heat, but there's a lot of people who just really, really hate his interference into the thing. But we'll get back to that later. Gray,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on Booster Gold?
So I'm not super familiar with the character, but I am kind of wondering who's the comedian that you're thinking that everyone's supposed to hate.
I am really, really just I'm blanking on his name. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Andrew.
Hey,
He's a younger comedian.
um,
He just got
Matt
a
Rife?
Netflix. Matt Rife. Yes, that's the
Okay.
guy.
I
Matt
have a feeling
Rife.
that might be the way you're going on this.
He's got.
I could
fine
kind of
with
see
Matt
it.
Rife.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
he's-
think that
Matt-
would. I think that would work really well. He's not super well known as far as like Chris Pratt. Definitely, people are going to think of Star Lord. They're going to think of his other roles. Matt Rife's kind of new, and people like to hate him. I don't know. I think it could work. I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, let's see if I can get this going here real quick. Here we go. Let's just share this real quick. We'll take a look. This is Matt Rife right here, and he's definitely worked out, so he can wear the suit,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and he's got that look on his face like he might be talking nice, but you don't really trust what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and he does kind of have that hateable thing. A lot of people hate him for seemingly little reason.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well,
I could definitely see it
I know
working.
what the reason is. You know what the reason is, Greg?
Yeah, so do I.
Because he's good
it's a
looking
really old-
and he's funny, and they don't like that.
There's that one too. He had this
It's not
really kind
loud.
of hacky
not
old
loud.
school joke as well. Not too loud.
Right.
So
We're in some
yeah,
opposite camps
yeah.
here. I'm sorry. I do not find this guy funny at all. I thought that was the reason why people hated him is because he thought he was funny and he isn't.
I think he's hilarious. He's
so
a
it was like
roaster.
a really hacky joke that references, I think, DV is what they're calling it. Violence, if you will.
Yes.
But the punchline didn't seem to warrant it. So I think that's the main reason why people hate him. But fair enough. I think a lot of it's kind of jealousy, and I can understand people not thinking he's funny.
yeah, but you see,
I don't know. The more I'm seeing this, the more I could see him as that kind of hateable character.
yeah, you throw the goggles on him. He looks like he's going to be here for a good reason, but really he's not here for a good reason, And he looks like he failed at stuff. So,
He just looks like an
And
asshole.
what?
as
I mean-
the character Booster Gold, we're talking. Good morning, Kitty. Welcome to the program. We are
welcome,
glad
Kitty.
you made it. We
I am
saved the
on
Dune review for
I'm
later.
on my helicopter. Oh, well, that's fine. Don't worry. I'll move myself out of that.
No.
I am on my helicopter mic because I'm fiddling with computer setup and stuff.
Oh.
But I'm here.
Enjoy. Also, hello to the crowd on Rumble. If you happen to be watching there, if you're not watching there, that's fine. But if you are,
Fine.
we're glad to have you.
I wouldn't say he's completely failed. I mean, he did date Kate Beckinsale. So,
Yeah, but who hasn't?
But I'm fun.
Damn.
So
True, true.
he would be my pick for that, but not necessarily. If he doesn't have the acting pedigree that Chris Pratt has, and he doesn't have that level of success. Chris Pratt is slowly becoming the John Ratzenberger of comic book movies. Are you the only one who got that, Tim?
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
sorry.
it. I was muted. But that's awesome.
That dates my my humor, but I also get really weird, obscure humor that people just like, huh?
Oh man, I love being.
I mean,
old.
I am always happy when I see Ratzenberger, and I'm usually not pissed when I see him. I get the comparison.
Every single movie from that animation company. God, I am so old.
Pixar.
Pixar. Thank you, Greg. That featured at some point John Ratzenberger made money and was a success. Was success with the fans, was success at the box office, and the bottom line. And when they didn't feature him at all, uh, it didn't work out. So John Ratzenberger was the key to success in some films, just having him there. So
Hmm.
with Booster Gold, possibly, now that's just a rumor, being that it may work because the Mario movie made money. I know it's Cole's
Sure did.
favorite film, and
Well, Cole doesn't know anything. He watches A24. I'm just
That
kidding.
is-
I just had
that
to
is
get that
true.
jab in there.
that is
They've had a
absolutely
couple of
true.
bangers, oddly.
That's what she said.
The Iron Claw was great.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely.
It was a good movie. They left out one suicide, but you know, how many can you fit in a film?
I think they could have fit a couple more.
James fit in plenty in his. Sorry. We're going to talk about this Suicide Squad. Okay.
I love how Bob just really leaned into that dark humor and just laughing at the suicide jokes.
Well, anything that involves the Von Erichs killing themselves is hysterical to me. I can't help myself.
Did we just ruin a movie for you? Have you seen the?
No,
Okay, you haven't seen it?
no. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah,
Oh
but
well,
but
Oh,
I,
we're sorry.
I'll act surprised. I'll act surprised.
Spoiler: a
It's
lot
okay.
of them die.
If you
think even if
googled
you
if you googled
knew,
their
it's still
names, you
powerful.
would have ran into it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
still wouldn't have made it.
and they
I
made him
won't
look
know
pretty.
when it's coming. There we go.
There you go. Nobody does. Well, they did.
Except the actual person, they knew. That's the whole point. We're here for the dark humor,
Oh.
yes.
Hmm.
So that's that.
Yeah, I think like as far as Chris Pratt goes, I think he gets a lot of crap, but people are crapping on him now. Why? Because he's big and successful. Before they loved him when he was chubby and he was the funny man on a TV show, and then now Star-Lord propels him into stardom, and they're like, I've seen too much Chris Pratt, I hate him. But you know, I give him this. I don't get tired of seeing him on the screen like I do Tom Holland, so I give him that. Where like Chris Pratt has range and can play different characters, but he does tend to get typecast every once in a while. Tom Holland hasn't played anything unique in a long, long time, and when he has attempted to play unique characters, he hasn't been too damn good at it. So I'm pretty excited to see him play Booster Gold. I think he's one of those where he was born to play Booster Gold, just like Nathan Fillion is born to play Green Lantern and so on. I think that casting is right on the money. Like initially, I would have thought Chris Pratt would be a great Green Lantern, but I like that they made Nathan Fillion and put Chris in that role. So
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
I think his time period has passed up a little bit on that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when what's his name? Gosh, darn it! House of
Today's
Cards.
just a day for
Oh yeah,
forgetting
Kevin
names.
Spacey.
Kevin
Yeah,
Spacey?
when Kevin Spacey played. Oh, geez, and I lost the other name.
So,
When
Kaiser
he-
Soze?
When he played Bobby Darin, he was way too old.
That
Yeah,
makes
sure.
way more sense.
Yes.
Although, that was a passion project. He loves Bobby Darin. He does sound like Bobby Darin, so I'll give him that.
And
wanted
he
to
looked
direct the
like him
movie.
when he was
Yeah.
like 15 years younger. That's when he
Right.
should have played him. But it would be like if all of a sudden I'm playing a young Frank Sinatra.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like pulling the Neil Breen way of filmmaking, where if you've seen Neil Breen movies, he casts himself in everything and plays ridiculous characters. It's that. It's like he's so in tune. It's like, I've got to make this movie. I want to make this movie. He's passionate about it, but didn't really question whether or not he should,
Yeah. And don't forget how he casts every poor actress in a role where they're like always made to either be kissing or laying naked with the poor guy or just some
Right.
embarrassing thing that they have to put on their resume
Pulling
now
a Tom Cruise
for the
where
rest
he's
of their
older
life.
and they're way younger. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, poor breed.
Kitty, did you see my my Dune fisticup?
His cornhole.
Yes, I did.
See, you've actually got to stick your hand in the hole to get the
That's just-
popcorn.
Now, does that
Pull it
limit
out.
your popcorn consumption at all?
It reduced it. Yeah, it actually it made
I
it makes
can't.
it healthier because you're eating it in smaller portions because it's going to weed out the lot of it.
Rosales,
And,
do that slower and
Really?
closer to the camera.
No. I'm so
The
glad that
Rumble
my
exclusive.
camera's off right now.
Because your hand goes here, and You gotta.
I wonder if they're gonna have
go
them
in.
here. I'll let
Oh.
you guys know if they have them here, but I don't know.
Oh,
And
my
then-
They
hand is
didn't even
supposed
have
to
them
go
come
here.
on,
there?
dude.
Apparently,
Wait,
some
my
of the
hand is
file
supposed to
states
go there?
aren't.
I'm confused. That's not what I thought it was for.
You've been
Oops.
using it wrong. Yeah.
Very wrong.
And I guess
don't know, who had
popcorn
a
isn't
better
the only
time?
thing you can put in it.
No, no, that's definitely going to get some wrong uses. I can tell you that.
We are in the internet age.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a whole subreddit just dedicated just to that bucket itself and what people are doing with that.
For exactly right now, what just happened is the only reason I bought it. Was to
Just
share
for
it
that,
here on the
just for that
screen.
moment.
Well, I
Just to
mean,
share
it's a
it.
write-off now, right? Business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was like, wait,
definitely
what?
is.
Yeah, that's what she said.
It's a tax write-off.
That works with everything. I can't believe how well that works with everything. Let's see. Wow, Tim.
Oh, don't
Five
act
film
like you're
friends is
offended, sweetheart.
So excited. Look at that. I think you
That's
have a
my
follower.
husband.
I think you have a
Yeah,
follower.
That's my husband. He would pretend that he's offended by what I say.
When are you guys going to be doing the co-hosting both on screen type stuff? Because I know that's supposed to be coming later in the year, right?
Yeah. We're supposed to be starting that here pretty soon. We're doing edited videos first. We're getting those lined up.
Mhm.
We're actually currently working on some right now and kind of tweaking what we want. And then we're going to do a stream where we have certain guests on from the horror community and talk about certain filmmakers and genres. But yeah, we're working on our cursed film stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. Kitty, how was your week? I haven't talked to you this morning about your week or this evening for you.
Gosh darn.
Your part of the world.
We've had some friends over this weekend, so I'm recovering. So I'm like, what is happening? Where are we? What day is it? So yeah, I'm chaotic inside. That's also why my camera's off.
Well, I'm glad they brought you some enjoyable recreational medication. I'm glad they didn't get stopped by. Anyway, I'll go again. I wanted to go back to Elmo.
Yeah.
I know we talked about him a week
Yes,
or so
I see
ago.
this.
But what I didn't realize was that he had actually tweeted, and that's what started the whole thing. Was he tweeted, and people reacted rather dramatically, which is why he went on the air to talk about mental health and getting help when you need it. And that's when what's his name attacked him live on the Today Show and drew everybody's attention away from it. But this comedian talks about it. Let me just show this real quick.
Elmo asked us one question. It took nothing. Elmo just said, "How is everybody?" And the floodgates opened. As an internet user, I was embarrassed. The way that everybody just poured everything out to Elmo. If you didn't see it, Elmo tweeted, "Hey, just check it in. How is everybody?" And 185 million views. What, 1 million replies? I don't know how many replies. It was absolutely crazy. Everyone just told Elmo everything that was happening in the moment. There's no better indication that we need universal mental health care than everyone responding to Elmo like he was in the room. That's absolutely insane. I can't believe, poor Elmo. Elmo probably smoking a cigarette right now, trying to calm down after the horrific stuff. Because some people were sending in video, like all he said was, "How is everybody?" And then people under him, right underneath, like, "They found me guilty, dog." Like that's insane. This is not real right now. Go seek real help.
So yeah, and I wanted to take a look at some of these responses real quick if I could, because this is the actual tweet here.
It's Gundam's in there.
Gundam, yeah.
Gundam.
Oh no.
So he said,
Wait, what
it's
did Gundam say? People have lost hope in dystopian nightmare that was called America. We are told not to trust our eyes and to believe the science, unless the science has to do with gender. We are on the edge of a civil war, a world war, and a culture war. In the absence of God, there is only Taylor Swift. It's a good.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ,
that sounds
you're
like
not wrong.
something. That sounds like something Gundam would say. Hey, Gundam.
Yeah, I
I
was like,
think there's a little
where
more
is
than
the
that.
punchline? I was waiting for it.
America, that was the punchline.
Gundam. So every morning, I cannot wait to go back to sleep. Every Monday, I cannot wait for Friday to come. Every single day, every single week for life.
I think I
Jesus.
like that one. Yeah.
What is Elmo's opinion on late-term abortion? I will wait.
Oh my God.
Hit this effing blunt, Elmo.
Oh no.
And you know what? I love it because he used his mugshot.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was gonna say, yeah, or his IMDb photo. You never know. Same thing.
Elmo, my man. Been to the grocery store lately? I don't know
The
if you
hidden
drive,
replies.
but you filled up the gas tank? Stop gaslighting us. You know it's real out here.
The way everybody just goes hard on him. Like, gee, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Why is it his fault? Why is it his fault everyone's doing bad?
The hidden replies. We're not looking at the hidden replies, by the way. But we will mind our own business because that person works at the White House. Oh, look, he's standing next to the Muppet that has AIDS.
Oh, God.
No, did you know that? Did you know that they introduced a Muppet that had AIDS?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, no,
Oh
they
my
didn't.
god.
Yes,
they
they
did.
did.
I believe it is Zoe. I've got kids, so I should know these Muppet names.
Zoe's got AIDS? How the fuck did Zoe get AIDS?
Because
She was born
people
with it.
in the
Oh,
It was a Muppet blood transfusion. Okay, Oscar didn't know.
you do know, Bob, that Sesame Street does have street corners, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I thought they were only, slinging out letters and shit. I didn't think they were slinging out.
Well, they're slinging
fucking
out the D,
disease.
that's for sure. The D is very popular there.
A is for AIDS, and Zoe has it. Come on, Zoe, tell everybody about your experience. I hope she didn't get it from Gordon.
Oh my goodness, Kitty, you want this paragraph?
No, you do it. I'm on my helicopter mic, man.
Tim, you want this one? Or Gray?
Gray, yes.
Yeah, Gray should do it.
Yeah, read some of that
Yes.
sexy voice, would you?
Hello, Gray. You're
Do
muted.
we still have Gray?
He's preparing. I don't know.
Oh, it says you can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
I guess he was really upset to learn about Zoe and her AIDS.
he's still crying.
Been on this planet nearly 61 years and feel I have no purpose anymore. It's all pointless. It's as if I'm in a film watching everyone else about their materialistic business. Want this, want that, want it free. Me. Exhausting. What's the name of that depressed robot?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. From
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes.
Yeah.
The world is full of pain, anger, violence, disease, power-grabbing despots, and poverty. The chasm is widening, as H.G. Wells put it, between the haves and the have-nots. Celebrity crassness, greed, and ignorance, especially the hypocritical?
Hypocritical.
Hypocritical.
Oh, there
Great.
it is.
Hey, there she
Hey,
is.
there he is.
There she is.
So-called religious righteousness. This planet is being destroyed by the powerful few. Cute little sad bunny.
Aw.
Many are waking up to the truth, but the majority just cannot and will not see what is happening to the world, and happening very fast and slow. I'm not suicidal. I just hate what I am witnessing right now and cannot see where I fit anymore. I feel like opening out, opting out in a faraway wilderness. Now, without people. People often say life is hard. It's not at all. It's people who ruin everything and destroy lives and simple things.
Jesus.
I like
That
how
was
I'm
so
not
epic.
suicidal was the brightest thing in that whole fucking ramble.
Yeah, I love your reading of it. I'm sorry I was away on a dog issue.
No, I'm
I'm so
hearing
sorry, but that
meows
led
all
to
over the
this
place.
legendariness.
Yeah, okay. Elmo has a number for you to call. Can Danhausen turn into a Muppet?
Can we have an Elmo suicidal hotline special? That needs to be a
You
thing.
speak. You're the person. They have to speak with an Elmo.
Right.
La 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 la. There's help out there.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, um,
We're
Yeah, the
fucked as a
comedian-
society.
the comedian was right. Elmo triggered everybody by just saying hello.
Insane.
Yeah, that is
Excuse me,
very,
I could
very
have
crazy.
muted myself for that, but why? You know what? The world is burning. It's fine. We'll just sneeze into our friends' ears. It'll be fine.
The world is burning now. Let's cut to Elmo burning meme.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Damn it.
Well, we made
I'm-
everybody do it in their minds. So
Yes,
it's fine.
not prepared. I'm just, I tried to be prepared, but I always forget the one joke. The one joke. Speaking of the
Only that
one
one.
joke, good morning, Cole.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, that one.
Hey, he's back from the bunker.
Or
Cole,
not.
Yeah,
your morning
Yeah,
dump took a
fine.
little longer than usual.
yeah, I was trying to kill this parrot.
Whoa! Wow!
Well, tweet about
As
it
it
to
says
Elmo,
every
why
day.
don't you, would you?
But it keeps saying, I love you, over and over again.
No, sadly not.
It
Oh, it's
literally
breakfast.
It literally taps on his window every day. It just goes, hola, hola, hola. And he's like, ah.
La migra, la migra, la migra. That's for the Spanish-speaking folks out there. Nice little joke.
I am highly concerned about people. Like that is funny, but at the same time, when you really look at those tweets and those replies, we are in serious trouble here as a whole. I don't know how much
Elmo
longer
what
we
brought
have.
it to your attention that we're in trouble? Have you seen
Well,
the Swifties
as a
and the
whole.
Nicki
No,
Minaj fans?
no, like I see
and
the stuff on the
Marvel
regular,
fans?
but there is. I mean, it says a lot about people when you are just like, I don't know, just trauma dumping to a puppet
Yeah.
on Twitter like that. I mean, especially that 61-year-old guy there that just went on and on about how everything is horrible. Like therapy isn't the answer either. Like that's not even gonna help.
To
Yeah.
be fair, there's not very many real people. People are willing to open up now because they can't trust them anymore, and everybody's a lunatic. I think I might have more trust opening up to Kermit the Frog now than even my own therapist.
I don't
mean,
know.
let's be
How
honest.
trustworthy can they be? They can get AIDS like the rest of us.
So, are you gonna take a puppet to your therapist and hand it to him and say, "If you put this on, I will tell you so much more."
Hey,
Yeah,
some
why not
therapists
save
use
time? Put
puppets.
up the middleman.
You know what?
Straight
I
to the
will
point.
bring that up in my therapy session, and I will actually get an answer on that and see what they say. I'll be genuine about it.
Did you ever see that footage from, I don't know what concert it was? It might have been there was some big California studio concert thing going on, and they had of all these huge bands come out and perform on this one stage, and then they brought Kermit the Frog out at the cameo to sing Rainbow Connection. And you know what? He got a standing O and the biggest crowd reaction over any of the bands over the entire thing because people care about the Muppets that much. Now, mind you, this is before, they went through casting and kicked out, the original, voice and whatnot and all that stuff. happened,
I thought the original
Business
voice
win.
died.
well, yeah, the
I mean,
OG
a
voice.
difference
was
that's
that kid.
kicking out.
Right.
Typo.
The Muppets
Spot the
haven't been good
typo.
in a
Point
while,
it out
and
in the
that's partly
comments.
because of what they did with it. But
Well, I
continue
never,
to talk to Muppets. I love it.
I understand the idea of being able to talk to puppets more often. Um, I mean, shoot, Larry David went after the puppet, not the guy.
Based.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lunga
He
still
got the
uses a puppet
figurehead.
on his show, and he's totally
Oh,
sane.
Jesus Christ, that fucking guy.
But a lot of people in the comments. I didn't scroll down far enough to show you guys because
Surprised
me,
Lunga's not in that comment section.
I think me and Tim covered it the last time around. The incidents and allegations that surround the
Yeah.
puppeteer.
Yeah. Which
Well, hello
explains
there,
Russ.
Super Muriel. Muriel.
If he's
How do you say that?
puppeteering, if he's
Mirlo?
puppeteering any of the puppets, it explains how they got AIDS in the first place.
When Empire of the Sun? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I am working on Empire of the Sun right now as we speak. There's extra
Heck yeah.
characters that I'm adding in. I'm bringing in also Felix the cat. I'm bringing in what's his name? The other one, the rabbit, Oswald Rabbit. Yeah, and I think no, I'm not going to do Pete the cat. I was going to do Pete the cat. I'm just going to bring in Oswald Rabbit and Felix the cat in supporting roles in Empire of the Sun. So
Nice.
I'm going to be doing Saturday videos showing how I rig them up. So keep an eye out for that because
Cool.
we'll be showing the rigging in Moho Studio for the new characters coming to Empire of the Sun, and
Nice. That
also
sounds
showing
awesome.
some of the backgrounds that we'll be using as well. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for coming, Super Murillo. I think that's right. Murillo Studios. Anyway, so how
Daisy?
about those Cowboys? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kitty.
No, I was just saying Daisy has also decided to be part of this.
Oh, Kitty, I've got an update for you. Mama
Oh.
Kitty got pregnant again. Mama
Oh,
Kitty,
damn.
Mama Kitty is the stray cat who
Mhm.
has moved into our house
Mhm.
because cats will do that. She won't let us pet her. She will let us feed her. And she had a litter in our garage initially, and all of those cats died. And then she had a second litter in our garage, and all but one died. And that one baby kitty that survived is now a house cat for us. And I'm her daddy. She loves me, nobody
Mhm.
else. She comes to sleep with me now at night and purrs in my face. She's an adorable house kitty, but now she's going to be an aunt. And Mama Kitty wound up looking like Cat Bus from a Studio Ghibli film. I mean, she was huge, and carrying a litter around. And she finally had this Saturday had a litter underneath my eldest son's bed. So
Oh my god. Okay, can we
You're
need to fix her.
hoping for better
Okay.
results.
well, she won't let us touch her, so we can't get her fixed. But
You trap her.
she
Make her
does.
hate you.
She loves my 12-year-old Chihuahua, who tolerates her. Doesn't love her back. She loves on him. She rubs on him. She comes to meet him and greet him and sniff him and stuff. So basically, she is like any wild woman out there. She goes out and parties and then comes back home to daddy. And now she's given him a litter of kids to take care of so that she can head back out again. So
Hey, if
Great.
you need another stud, that I've got one right here. He's single. He's looking for a new mama.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Aw.
His
So
name's Duncan.
fabulous.
He's my big baby.
that is
Aw.
awesome. That is awesome.
Daisy, come and check out the buoys.
Sadly, one of the three that she gave birth to passed away already within a day.
Aw.
So, but
Oh.
she still got two. So
That always sucks when that happens. We've had that with puppies recently, and it's rough.
whenever I can get a clean shot of the babies, I will. I'll share them. So
Heck yeah.
But that's the cat update.
Yeah, just keep them away from Champ.
Keep them away from Champ.
Yeah, you microwaves them.
Cole.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen his bucket?
Yeah. So how much for that?
Cole, you need to
It
see
was
how
a steal.
Oh.
This is what happened while I was watching Dune. Okay, this is what happened.
Repeatedly.
I love the sound of it too when it's partly empty.
Again, just replace the worm teeth with razor blades, and it's a saw trap.
Multi-use.
Yeah, I think it was like what, $15. I'll have to look at my receipt.
Yeah, it was on credit, so it's free.
There you go.
Oh my goodness! Hey, Cole, did you happen to see Friday Night SmackDown?
No, sorry, but
Well, I predicted this weeks ago, and I was telling people who were excited about Bailey winning, the Royal Rumble thing or whatever it was, and her getting a shot at the belt, right? And they figured, well, she won. She should be featured in the advertising, which she wasn't, and she should have a main event at WrestleMania, which she doesn't. And they were all upset. And I told them, I said, look, she's not going to get it because The Rock is going to have his WrestleMania main event. And I postulated, because I didn't see the contract, that the WrestleMania main event was in his signing deal, in his contract, which is why nobody else knew about it when they were planning ahead and making plans for the other wrestlers, because nobody has any idea what's in anybody else's contract or what they're getting, and so it was none of their business until it was their business, and they were informed. He's contractually obligated to have a WrestleMania main event.
Yep.
So he comes out and he makes his play, challenges Roman Reigns, and everybody has a hissy fit. But he decides, what's best for business is to have people not shouting BS during WrestleMania and starting to throw around beach balls again.
Well, then they would have to, just cover the whole screen block.
Yeah, like they did when people were flicking off Dominic,
Yeah, they covered a whole row just because one person had a die Rocky die sign.
Yeah, they sure did. And the thing is that he's still obligated contractually. They're still obligated to give him a WrestleMania main event this time around, which is why I said it's going to be a tag team of the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And sure enough, this Friday, that's what The Rock did. He called them out and offered that up. And so next Friday, Cody Rhodes is going to come out and accept it. And here's how I see this playing out, because Cody Rhodes' story is epic. His dad fought hard to get the title, and then they took it away from him, so he wasn't able to hold it for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I see this playing out. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins lose on night one, okay, to the Bloodline. And then it's Bloodline rules, and everybody thinks he's going to get screwed over, okay?
Yeah, and do you think he'll get cashed in as well by Priest?
I think that Roman Reigns will do everything possible to keep Cody Rhodes from winning. However, he's going to fight against the current. He's going to be the salmon looking for the spawning, and he's going to reach the top, and he's going to eventually pin him despite all the interference and win that belt. And yes, he will be cashed in. It'll be cashed in on him right there and then.
Oh.
And he's going to be hit in the back of the head. He's going to be attacked. He's going to cash it in. The belt will be taken away from him, just like his father. And that brings it full circle. Or this way. This way's good. This way right there. Yeah. Full circle. Back to his father's story. And he gets to do his father's story exactly. And they get to move on from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's fine as long as they take it off that piece of shit wrestler, then all good. God.
Well, I think he's going to need some time off to join the DCU as Aquaman.
Good lord.
There's an opening.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I would say he can't be much worse than he was as a wrestler, so I'd give him a chance. But then I saw how he was in that Fast and Furious film, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm good.
Bob, what do you think?
I mean, that sounds, the way you describe it sounds all right. I didn't watch SmackDown, so I'm glad you gave us a little recap here of what was going on. I mean, my worry is with The Rock especially is when the guy comes in and all of a sudden he's put copyrights and trademarks on about like 15 different sayings of his. Obviously, he's all in and he's in for the long haul here. So it concerns me.
I'm sorry, we're talking sports. Hang on 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So it concerns me a little bit when this dude's putting trademarks on catchphrases and shit like that. Also, I didn't watch it, but I saw that he also posted a 26-minute promo. I don't know if any of you's watched it. I don't know why anybody would watch a 26-minute promo with him saying the same old shit over and over.
I did watch the promo.
Did you?
It was. I watched Chillmonger's commentary, so it was about 45 minutes.
Okay.
But
you wanted to double the time on that.
I doubled the time. What he did was he mixed real life events with storyline events.
Yes.
And kind of tried to blur the lines back and forth between kayfabe and not kayfabe. And I think what he's trying to do is build himself up as the new corporate Mr. McMahon. Okay. Because you had the Mr. McMahon character was born out of the Montreal Screwjob.
Yes.
And so he took that and ran with it and created the whole Attitude Era and everything else off of that. I think Rock sees this in his head. He saw that as part of what would work in the past, and he's going to try to make that happen now, being the new face of the corporation, being a board member and a wrestler and an entertainer and a businessman and all these things, and try to work that in as his own version of Mr. McMahon. I control the ropes kind of thing.
That's awesome.
The only problem I see with that is that Mr. McMahon has a more than 50% chance of being arrested for crimes against humanity. And being the second coming of Mr. McMahon is going to not be desirable when that sort of thing happens.
I mean, but at the same time, I think he might be able to, even if he steps into that similar role. I think he's gonna help take some eyes off that a little bit.
Well, what do you mean? He did block out him. That's a crime against humanity.
Yeah, but not the same type of crime, Cole. Not the same. That's one you can get away with.
Can we talk about the Hawaii incident? Is that a crime?
That's another one you can get away with. Those are all money crimes. Those mean nothing.
I mean, he claimed they were donating it all, and that was a lie, but I don't know.
Listen, I'll take all those moments, and I'll raise you the Tooth Fairy. There you go.
Yeah, you can't top that.
Yeah, I mean, I love how he's done so many bad films that nobody even mentions the Tooth Fairy anymore.
I think he's starting to become a good one of his.
You know, he tried to do this with Fast and Furious. He tried to do that with DC, and now he's finally taken over the WWE in the way that he feels is best, which puts him at the top and up front.
Because this is the one area that will allow him to do that. Movie studios and production houses will only let you get so far, because when the buck doesn't come, then it's get the fuck out of here. We don't need you. We can lose money without you. Whereas WWE, will be more than welcoming and, give this guy carte blanche to do whatever he wants. One of the issues I have, though, is when you're going to cut a 26-minute promo that blurs the lines between what is kayfabe and what is not, I'm fine with that. I like that. That's a good thing for wrestling. What's not a good thing for wrestling is when your 26-minute promo is something that you can't play on your product at all because your product is PG and you're over here in your promo saying fuck your story. I'm all for telling Cody to go fuck his story, but if you can't tell the guy that on TV because you're PG, well, what's the point? So you're segregating half of your audience because you're going to have people who are expecting this, because people are going to think, oh, well, this is going to be a return to like the Attitude Era. We're going to get, more blood and more guts and more swearing on TV. It's going to turn into AEW where somebody's going to tell somebody to go fuck off on TV. But that's not going to happen, unfortunately. I mean, maybe this happens when we transition over to Netflix in a year, but for right now, it just gives me mixed feelings because I like what's going on. I like that aspect of it. Again, I'm not going to sit and listen to 26 minutes of The Rock say anything for any reason. I'll watch snippets. I'm definitely not going to watch somebody else review it and add an additional 20 minutes onto it, Rosales. You're nuts for that. I don't know how you sat through 45 minutes of a breakdown, but good on you for that. But
when my friends put up videos, I watch them and I thumbs them up. That's just what I do.
I didn't know he was a good friend of yours. So, fuck Tim's videos. Yeah. Fuck his story.
Kitty, you love the wrestling. What's your opinion?
Yes, I know all about the wrestling and stuff. And yeah, the violence and you know what? Even some people even they don't even, it's not even real. Okay.
It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, good afternoon.
No, but just thinking of just the whole idea of a promo that lasts half an hour, that's weird.
Thank you.
Well, what it tells me is that it wasn't. He probably talked about doing something akin to this on the program itself, but was not allowed to do so. So he took it upon himself to do it on his own. He did the same sort of thing when he brought in Superman into the Black Adam film. He did the same sort of thing when he stopped Black Adam from being in the Shazam movie altogether.
Yeah.
And making it his own thing, making it his own film. So he does interfere with creative in whatever business he's in.
Because they're genius ideas, okay?
He stopped the Fast and Furious franchise so that he could do the Hobbs and Shaw thing. I mean, just
some say he improved it for that.
So he does have a history of working outside of the creative and making things his own. Tim, your thoughts? Go. Like it's hardball.
Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on this because I haven't been keeping up in a while. But I mean, yeah, a 30-some minute promo is insane to me. It sounds like it feels like I'd be watching a QVC special to sell one particular item, which sounds ridiculous. And those people are all women, so they gab a lot, so that makes sense. But for The Rock to be doing 30 minutes,
I mean 30 we do.
To do a 30-minute promo is just insane. It just sounds like it sounds too much like the I don't know. It just sounds like it's somebody who just like knows how to obviously showboat and talk too much, but then they don't know how to cut themselves in the way that Peter Jackson doesn't know how to edit his films. That kind of thing. It's just like, okay, you don't really need to go on this long, but I get it.
I mean, it's harkening back to days of, old days where, I don't know, somebody might cut a long
it's the
promo.
Old days, but it's not the old days, and they don't do anything cool from the old days, so it can't, you know what I mean? That's like you said.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have the same vibe when a guy is, standing in his backyard of his multi-million-dollar mansion just talking at you for 26 minutes about your, screw your story, and you're not going to win. We're going to do whatever I mean...
Here's the problem with The Rock. We need another underdog story again. We need somebody new. We need some fresh blood. We need something interesting. We need to start over. We need somebody who's not like a multi-millionaire who's in over his head. And I would love to see more of that stuff. Those are the wrestlers I'm interested in seeing. I don't really care about the superstars anymore.
That and I just don't know how much longer they can, like dovetail on the fact of Cody Rhodes continuing his story. I mean, it's gotten to the point where that's the selling point for their newest video game. Like, how much longer is this story really going to continue? You know what I'm saying?
It depends on how much new blood they bring in. If they do what Tim says, they're going to bring in somebody new, like they did with CM Punk, and that'll interrupt the story. They brought in The Rock because they negotiated with him to have somebody who knows wrestling on the board, but he came with a giant list of conditions, which interrupted them, and now they've learned. Now they know they've been burned by him. So hopefully,
hey, I'm just gonna pitch this. Zac Efron, he's still in good shape. Zach, if the acting thing's not your thing, get in the ring.
Oh yeah,
get Efron in there. Get somebody who's already a celebrity but also relatable, and then he still has to work his way to the top. Love to see something like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, you would already be better than Logan Paul, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he runs the risk of becoming a Von Erich. Kitty, last thoughts.
Last thoughts.
Last thoughts on The Rock, and because I know you got to go. You've got
yes, I do.
So
I'm so sorry for hardly being here, but I'm really glad I got to be here at least a little bit, and so that you guys can hear my amazing wrestling takes. So The Rock, I think we don't like him right now. Cool, I agree. He did some lame stuff.
We don't like him.
And then also Zac Efron would actually make a good wrestler now, like just with his new face. I'm sorry, I know it's very mean, but with his new face, he suits wrestling, which is
absolutely.
Yeah, he does the whole wrestling thing really well. Let's add him to the ring. Let's do it. That was a really good idea. This is official advice from entertainment people. I'm not an entertainment person, but I'm just gonna say what entertainment people said, and just tune in for my half an hour promo for
Dune 2.
Yeah.
Your half an hour promo for Dune 2.
Yeah, just I'll do half an hour explaining exactly why you need to watch Dune 2. Demonstrating the popcorn box as well. And
yeah.
I couldn't help but notice that somebody had noticed that you noticed them.
Oh,
you were in a compilation video by somebody.
I was in a compilation video. Yes, that is a thing. It is very big, been very exciting, and I do need to, I suppose, refer to it because, wow, and it made my channel go past 1,000 subscribers. So
nice,
fantastic,
very nice.
Which is why Gray wore a pink dress on our last stream.
It was pink, thank you.
Nice.
Yes, it was pink. Yes, it was very good, very pretty.
Wait, hold on one second.
Are you looking for it?
No.
Got something for this.
She got you to wear a pink dress, but I can't get you to tell a joke.
No.
I'm just not a fan of comedy. What can I say? Jokes.
The whole comedic timing thing. Oh, not Gray's cup of tea. But yes, very exciting stuff is happening on Thursday on my channel because the person who decided to notice me will notice us back. If I actually go and freaking reply to the email that I was supposed to reply to yesterday.
Well, you had company, and you were busy playing Minecraft, I think.
No, I'm playing Minecraft now. So yeah.
All right.
So
that's why she's got to go.
So I'll see you guys on Thursday. Warren Smith, the viral teacher that I've been basically just covering mostly on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's not absolutely confirmed yet that it will be him there on Thursday, but yeah, you guys are the first to know that I've made it official. He has to come on now. That I've said it to several people.
I was gonna say the pressure's on now.
Yeah.
So no thinkers doing a think. You'll actually have a guest.
No. The thinkers will have him.
Guest thinker.
He's going to be a guest thinker.
Yes, he's a guest thinker, but we'll have to limit the room size because you saw how freaking crazy it got last week or this current week. There were how many people were in there, Gray? It was chaos. I actually eventually stopped talking.
Close to 9. Yeah, we
had a lot
took
of
over. I'm
people on
sorry.
your panel. Yeah,
we had a lot of opinions about the Acorn Cop.
Yeah,
I think I did tune in by that point. Yeah, yep.
I vowed to stay in the comments alone.
It was very good. But yes, so see you guys then, and thanks so much, Rosales. Thanks for having me on for the little bit, and enjoy your Dune review.
Why, thank
I
you.
won't
I
talk about
appreciate
it when I
And the
when I
bucket.
do see it. No, I'm gonna
We
talk
will.
about it anyway. Okay. Have a nice life. Bye, guys.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one.
Thanks for stopping by, Kitty.
Bye.
All right. So, what do we have next on the list? Oh, let me do this real quick. If as soon as I get back up here and got distracted by that, get back to the music.
Okay, back and
Start
forth.
sharing some screen here. Where is it? What is this called? This is called. Oh. Yes. Tonight on pay-per-view, we have AEW Revolution. In the main event, Darby Allin versus Sting versus Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the EVPs for
Say
the
Darby
tag
versus
team.
Sting.
Darby and Sting. They're a tag team. See, I probably did. I'm not reading from a script, so there's that. This is Sting's last match. He's finally retiring again.
Again.
And my prediction for this is that Darby Allin and Sting, who are the current tag team champions for AEW, will actually retain the tag team champions. But with Sting going into retirement, they will then put they will vacate the titles, allowing for a tournament to lead into the next pay-per-view. So that's what I think is going to happen. Hangman, was that not on repeat? Fixed it.
That's
Hangman
better.
Adam
And we're
Page
back.
versus Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. Samoa Joe will retain.
Wow.
Timeless
Okay.
Tony Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. She just got her check and her contract, so she's not going
Is
to
she
win.
timeless?
Tony Storm will retain.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy will lose to Roderick Strong. And the Roderick Strong faction will now have another title in their midst. Eddie Kingston for the Continental Championship against Bryan Danielson will lose the Continental Crown Championship to him. Christian Cage will retain against Daniel Garcia. FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club. FTR will win on that. Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Oh yeah, and that
Will
will be a 5-star
Ospreay will
match.
win. However, there will be interference, and that will sever the relationship between Will Ospreay and the faction that he's in right now. That includes Takeshita. So Will Ospreay will leave, possibly not victorious. I think he will win, though, but he will be separated from the Don Callis family. And opening it up was going to be the Meat Madness, which was going to feature six of the biggest men in the company, all muscle bound, all sweaty, all heavy.
Now we're talking.
Over 300 pounds.
Vince's wet dream.
Yes, it was going to be bear country up in the.
You said was going to, so no more Meat Madness then?
No more Meat Madness. Two of them were injured, and so they could not participate, even though they were not announced for it. The original three that were announced are still in the match, but now we've got an all-star 8-man scramble that will eventually lead to a title match. So the winner of that will get a title shot. And I think probably the one that's going to get it is going to be Wardlow. So
That makes
Wardlow,
sense.
right there in the middle, is going to come out victorious on top of that, on top of what's going on. So that's your AEW Revolution predictions. I will be posting tonight while the show is going on with my predictions, and we will see whether I'm right or wrong, and you'll be able to account for it when it happens, as it happens, if you follow me on the Twitters.
Do you have a
Nice.
prediction on if Christian Cage is going to tell somebody about their father being dead or not on this show?
He's already told him about his father being dead on the show, so. And he told him he wanted to be his daddy. And
Listen, this dude's got whoever came up with that.
Daniel Garcia responded to him saying, "I'm going to make you. I'm going to put you right up there with my daddy. You're going to be dead."
Now I might have him confused between Garcia and Jungle Boy there, but I'm
It
pretty
was that
sure
and Nick Wayne.
my hometown got a shout out. I don't know how long ago was it when Cage was cutting a promo, and I think he said somebody's mother was buried at like 2 Pearl Street or something in Buffalo, New York. And then when you actually look up the address, it comes up as like St. Lady's Cemetery. It is a real cemetery here, whatever it is. But for him to say that, I never laughed so hard when they pulled up the address. I'm like, holy shit, I've been there. I think one of my aunts is buried there too.
Cheap heat, cheap heat. They always reference local locations, you know.
Oh, that's the only time I could get a shout out here in the shit city I live in.
It's like
for somebody being dead.
Like whenever they're in Louisiana, somebody has to bring up Beale Street or something like that, you know,
Sure.
and or whatever. So it'll be interesting. Friday they're in Dallas, so it'll be interesting for me to see what they reference when when SmackDown comes to Dallas. I may or may not be at the show. So,
And if you haven't heard it, somebody has remixed Christian Cage's entrance music. So while it's playing, it just has like cuts of him going, "'Cause your father's dead, 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 dead.
no,
'Cause your
I've not
father's
heard
dead."
that.
Listen, I would highly
There's a
recommend.
private chat for you, my friend.
Yes, I'll put that in there for you. That
That's
comes
amazing.
compliments of the boys over at OSW Review. They came
But
up with that.
finishing out the wrestling topics, Bob, you told me about
Yes.
an item where some fans were dissing Maxine Dupree as she exited a match. Now, this wasn't a televised match. No,
No,
ladies and
house
gentlemen,
show.
this was a house show or a dark match, if you will. This show was not to be broadcast. It was not meant to be broadcast. It is, however, a place for wrestlers to improve themselves,
Yes,
work out. It's work out different things. It's a way for them to develop new moves or whatever it is, you know. So,
exactly.
WWE wrestlers are constantly wrestling, like 5 days a week. They're wrestling. Okay, they are always in the ring. Okay, if they're not doing TV shows, they're doing house events, and they get 1 or 2 days off. Most of that is spent traveling. Um, but that's the way it is with the WWE wrestlers. AEW, not so much. They've only got the 2 shows, so they have a little more rest time in between.
Yes.
However, Maxine Dupree wound up getting booed out of the ring,
Out of the building.
out of the building. Let me bring that particular part up. What is this one called? No, it's not that one. They both say full match. That's the wrong one. Okay, here we go. So let me just share this real quick and make sure the audio's up here. I hope that it's. Did I do this right? Tell me if I did this right.
You did it
You hear
right.
it?
Oh yeah. Ooh.
So I believe that was "You Suck, Maxine," "Don't Come Back,"
Yeah.
and some other things that people were saying. And not Ronda Rousey, Rhea Ripley posted this this reaction saying that people should be nicer.
Yes.
Essentially, people should be nicer because you know, she's learning and she's trying to get better and she's improving every day. And
No. All right, they're
I
paying
mean-
to see matches. All right, if they're garbage and she isn't ready, then they have the right to boo. They didn't
Exactly.
say anything like "die, Maxine, die." All right, they literally said "you suck" and then booed, which are allowed to. All right, this is
And isn't that part of the wrestling thing? It's part of the hype
Yes.
and
this is just the soft pussy generation of wrestling fans and wrestlers now.
Yeah.
It's like, really, we can't even do
That
that.
being
So we
said, though,
can't.
they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Like people could be nicer, but yeah, definitely still boo.
Yeah, like they're
but,
not
you know,
booing
some
her; they're
people are-
booing the
are
people
jerks.
putting her in the match. Basically, when they do it, like when she clearly isn't ready. That's basically like who they're pretty much like
or you're
sending
booing the
messages
character.
towards-
Nothing to do with
Yeah.
her as a person.
Yeah, that too. Like,
Oftentimes
when
that
Roman
comes with the
Reigns
character.
was over pushed to the moon, do you think people were actually hating on Roman
Speaking of the
Reigns,
moon.
or do you think it's because that didn't deserve it to be in that spot and they were sick of seeing him and Vince's ideas like that?
I'm sorry, what?
It's tough.
So, you just take a quick look at Maxine Dupree here.
Definitely looks proficient.
Jermaine. They threw Jermaine. Bon vivant resistant.
Obviously, she's athletic.
Sure.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
definitely join
You know?
Mandy Rose.
She's athletic.
I mean, from what I read up on her, I mean, and this is outside of any battle royales, rumbles, 6-7 women tags there or whatever. She's probably only had, I believe it said, about like 10, 11 singles matches. This being one of them.
I'm sorry, what? No, go ahead, please.
So having only a couple handfuls of matches, I mean,
Handfuls?
yeah, a couple handfuls, 2 handfuls to be exact. So she's had only 2 handfuls of matches there. And
Wow,
I
both
mean,
hands.
both
what he
hands,
said.
both hands, firm grips. But that's her problem. Is she doesn't have a firm grip on her wrestling style yet and her skill set, and I think that's the problem. The other problem here is you have a heel in the business coming out and tweeting that the crowd should be.
I don't know why, but yes.
Exactly, yes. You have a heel in the business tweeting out that the crowd should be more respectable and more nicer to somebody who's out there trying. Now, my thing is, house shows are where you're supposed to be trying, but you do have to take whatever the crowd gives you with your effort. If your effort is shit and people feel that way, they have a right to tell you. They bought a ticket to tell you. There's nothing else to do at a house show, so at least they're going to do is tell you whether you're good or not, whether they like you. That's how the rest of the company and people figure out what to do with you going forward. If people don't like you on house shows, chances are they're not going to like your shit on TV. And that means there's no point in time to waste time putting you on TV if all you're going to get is just an orchestra of booze, when that's probably what they don't want from this girl.
Is that how you spell Maxine?
Yeah.
It looks right to me.
With 2 X's? I don't know.
Who's going to
I'm
argue
seeing it with 3.
Fun fact, Mason and I went to a horror convention in Indianapolis, and Maxine was there at the panel.
You went
with some
to a
other
horror
people.
convention?
A horror convention, yeah.
Oh, I misheard you.
Yeah, and we regularly go to these
Spelled
things,
differently.
and yeah, and we were at these conventions, and I was like, why? Like, I've noticed the increase of wrestlers being at horror film conventions. I don't know why that is, but then again, also Bam Margera was there, so that also doesn't explain anything either. So.
Well,
he's
you
a
have
horror show.
Just ended up there drunk, so.
Yeah, both Kane and Rey Mysterio, wrestlers who wound up being in horror movies as the villains. So that might have led to. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
I mean, many have ended up in horror films, but yeah.
I mean, she could just be that horrific in the ring that it warrants her to be at a horror convention.
I just remember I had I was like, I don't really know her careers. I have no interest in going. But yeah, just fun fact that some of these younger wrestlers appear quite often in horror conventions.
Everybody's pretty hip to what wrestling is nowadays. But I wish it was back in the day in old school where wrestlers didn't have Twitter and shit like that, because there's no way in hell a heel would ever be able to say some shit like that to talk down wrestling fans. Be nicer to this girl. She's trying. This is when I wish Vince was still in control. Somebody needs to beat the shit out of Rhea Ripley in the background. Like, seriously.
I think Vince was in control when she was hired because he likes to hire a specific type of female that doesn't necessarily have wrestling ability. Now, obviously, she's got some kind of fundamentals down, okay? Or she wouldn't be able to make Nia Jax look good in the ring.
Well, she has to have some skill to work with the refrigerator, so yes.
Yes. And it always takes somebody with a certain level of skill to put somebody else over, okay? She's not sandbagging, and this match goes the way it's actually supposed to go. She's not supposed to be the winner. She's not supposed to be dominant. She is supposed to take the heat. Now that she took wrong. Okay, she could have broken her rib.
You're breaking her fucking ribs there. Oh God!
I was like, her selling's kind of shit though, but yeah.
But again, for her fourth match, that selling isn't too bad. She's not tripping over her feet.
She's Rikishing her.
Yes, and she's putting her over.
I don't know. Like there is kind of something to be said. Like you were saying, like back in the day, like in the old school time, they wouldn't be able to tweet like that. But they're also not getting that hate that they would have gotten back in the day. Like you would have gotten it as you're coming to the ring while you're in the ring. Mean? But what is somebody going to write letters to you?
No, like, people showed up at the arena and were trying to stab you as you walked down the aisle.
Yeah, that's how it used to be.
But that was limited to there. It wasn't 24/7. Like with
okay,
so
I get that.
Them being like, hey, let's calm this down. But I don't know. It's what you signed up for. It is what's going on now. So I don't know if you can ever put that genie back in the bottle.
No, you're right. Because you're right. It is a lot more now because the access is to these people 24/7 that you can talk shit to them. You're 100% right about that. But at the same time, I don't think it's ever right for you to tell paying fans you should be, unless unless people are showing up at the girl's house, putting like slurs on her, on her car and shit. Then okay, then you can tell people, people to take a step back and relax. It's not even real, but just simple booing and yelling, "You suck." Come on.
If you want to stop that kind of action from happening, you got to stop selling alcohol at the events.
Sure.
That's really the only way that something like that is going to happen, because that's what releases the hounds when it comes to a-holes. Tim, you've got somewhere you have to be. Is that correct?
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to get some stuff done, guys. It was nice being on. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. And have a great day. Where can people? Are you got anything happening this week?
We're gonna continue on the March 11th. We're gonna do that new episode of the Joker's Corner, and then I'm gonna continue recording some stuff here at home and continue decorating for the set for Mason and I's show. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Well, thanks for being here. Take care.
Yeah.
Have a great Sunday.
Yes, absolutely. You too.
But back to her here. See, she's getting her. She's running the ropes. She's doing her thing. She's getting her. If you could hear the crowd reaction, actually, they're actually behind this run she's doing here.
Yeah, too bad her moves are shit, but
Well, she is lanky, and 4 matches in, like Bob said, and she takes, the pin like she's supposed to,
Yeah, I mean, she's doing what she's told to do. So far looking at this, it's not the worst I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, definitely isn't good, and her moves are basic.
And if you look here, boom.
Oh,
she actually got her on the hip as opposed to the gut where she normally pushes her. So Nia Jax is even taking care of her, in the ring. So
I can't stand anything with this walking fucking linebacker out here. She's just terrible.
Like the 2 worst wrestlers in the company. Jesus Christ!
But that's the match that started all the ire and all the conversation.
Yeah, I mean it's I think it's fine. People want to boo her, and that's just part of the biz. You got to take that. You got to take the good with the bad. I'm sure not every crowd is going to be that poorly receptive to her. You're going to hit in some spots. Some places people are going to like it. Some places people are not going to like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if like the match is fine with like not botches or anything, it's just like she has very little chemistry and just like impact there, and it's just boring to watch. There's nothing interesting to her moveset or matches because she doesn't know how to wrestle. She just needs to do the most basic stuff ever. Like she's still in the training facility. So like I've seen
And you know
people
what?
like Dana Brooke do better job than this.
And that's
It's
why it
sad.
was a dark match.
Yeah.
That's why it was a house show.
That's what house shows are exactly for. So keep putting her out
It's
there.
even worse than a house show. It's this should be just like a no crowd arena match, right?
I mean, see, house shows are where you want to put these people out of, because that's where you're because I mean, that's not really like your best card really that you're putting on a house show. So there's a higher chance for people to get bored watching what you are putting out there, because it's obviously not going to always be your best matches with your best stars and stuff like that. So I keep her out on the house show. She's, like I said, she's only got 10, 11 singles matches under her belt. She obviously needs more. She needs some more training. She needs some more. I haven't heard the girl talk either, so God only knows what that is. She could be a brilliant talker, or she could be, she could be dead on the mic, for all I know.
I just don't get why she was hired. That's all.
Oh yeah,
Again,
you want me to bring the pictures back up again?
yeah. Let's show the case in point here.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, it's just great that this is the situation we're in now. So it's like, okay, so we can't have any swearing, we can't have any blood, we can't have any flipping off, we can't have any vile signs, and now we can't have any booing and chants. Okay, great job, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they want the fans to do at this point. Then that's where it comes down to me, because
place like cardboard cutouts in the stands. That's what they want.
Speaking of cardboard cutouts, they what is that? The Bang Bang Scissor Gang brings out a cardboard cutout of Juice Robinson, who is out with injury. So you nailed it right on the head there, Cole, at least for AEW.
Yeah.
Dune 2. Who saw it?
I didn't, sadly. Not yet.
Oh, you need to, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my theater's here like 15 minutes away sucks, so I'm going to have to drive over an hour out, and then I also have to just wait a couple weeks to make sure that it isn't sold out, so I have to wait a little while.
Excuses, man.
I'm not going to listen to you cry, because I know you crossed the border not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that's my job, the avocado trade, trade, so.
Drug muling is a job, I guess.
Yeah, I know you were held up at the border because of your friend.
Yeah,
none of it was yours. None of it was yours.
Yeah, no. Listen, it was just supposed to put down one night, so then we can leave the same fucking day. But he accidentally put one day on there, so then we had to stay at a fucking hotel. God damn it, that dumbass! But he did buy us some beers and shit, so that was cool. Yes, and then there's this one bartender who I think was like giving me sly comments or something, and then she got yelled at by her boss from doing so.
Well, I thought Dune 2 was a much faster paced movie than the first one. Hey, Jaded.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hey.
We just finished talking about Maxine Dupree.
Oh, God, thank God I missed that.
Well, now we're passing it off to you for your thoughts on it. Thanks for joining.
They're female wrestlers.
We also did our AEW predictions for Revolution, Sting's retirement.
Okay, and what was the consensus?
Well, they just kind of let me ramble on about that.
Oh, okay.
So we also talked about the Cody Rhodes versus Bloodline tag team match for night 1 of WrestleMania.
Wait. Isn't Sting in his 60s?
Yes.
What's he gonna do? I mean, okay.
Well, I think last Wednesday he descended from the rafters again. They did that one more time.
I mean, you could always hit him with a walker instead of a chair.
Well, he does carry around the bat. So,
hey, what a disappointment! If I remember correctly, he came to one event with a WCW event in a helicopter. He came down the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess he's 60, so it's like no more helicopter rides. I guess. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to jostle up the arthritis. It's quite a violent experience.
Okay, let me put it this way: I still wouldn't want to meet him in a ring. Okay, I would still. The guy's still a big guy. I'm not.
Oh, and I think he's in a tag team match with Darby Allin against
Okay.
the Young Bucks. So he's got 3 people to carry him for a good 30-minute match.
No, he's got one person to carry him because they're also working with 2 sandbags. So
they don't sandbag as much now that the gate is part of what they do now. So the Young Bucks do much better now at putting people over, and I think they're going to put them over. I don't think they're going to follow the trend of your retirement match. You put over somebody new, especially since the people that he would be putting over are not necessarily new, and they're part of management. So I think the management is actually going to put him over. Sting and Darby Allin will retain the tag team championships, which they have right now. And then, as this is his retirement match, they will probably vacate the titles, and a tournament will begin, and they'll milk this for as long as possible to get a brand new tag team. They may even do a round robin and extend it for months. For maybe because they'll probably want to save this for a massive pay-per-view. And they got one coming up in August, I think, where they're in England for, I think, Double or Nothing or something like that. So, anyway, that's what I think is going to happen. They're gonna pull out the stops. Darby Allin is probably going to juice at some point, accidentally running into something hard. But other than that, that's the only thing really to look forward to on the Revolution pay-per-view. So, but we'll be watching it, and I'll be live streaming. Not necessarily. I won't be live streaming. I'll be live tweeting the matches and results. But did you see Dune 2?
I think I got about 45 minutes into it, and I went, "Yeah, I can't deal with this crap."
Yeah, he was in a voice chat watching it last night, and he's just like, "Yeah, fuck this, I'm done."
So you didn't get your bucket?
No, I did not get my. I did not get my bucket. I'm like, how do you take the Dune movie and have filler? I don't know.
What part are you calling filler? Out of curiosity, I'm wondering, like in the first 45, what's
near the beginning of the movie, because the guy only saw the beginning of the movie. There's that. I think they spent about 4 minutes on the mother's death, not the mother, the death scene, the funeral thing. And I'm going, the everybody's walking around. There's the people all over the place. There's the guy in the coffin. They got him siphoned off, and I'm going, why are you spending 4 minutes on a funeral scene? This is Dune. You got shit to talk about.
Yeah, I can understand that interpretation. It seems like they're doing it to show you like how they harvest the water and everything like that. Like it's kind of exposition by showing instead of telling. But I get you.
And that, but I'm saying the whole siphoning of the water, we've already covered that in the first movie, so we know that. So there's no point in showing it again. And at the same time, in a weird way, I'm going, this is reminding me of Lords of the Rings, because everybody's walking around, except in Dune, nobody goes anywhere. Like they're always walking around and talking. Like it's like they're walking and they're talking, and they're walking and they're going. Like in the beginning of again, it's the desert action scene. I get it, but I'm saying they're walking. But they're always walking. Somebody's always walking, but they never go anywhere.
Spoilers, and I know they get new transport later on in the movie.
Right, and it's the beginning of the movie, right? Like it's, I can't pronounce the names. The
Harkonnens.
The Harkonnens, right? You got in the very beginning of the movie, right? They got these jetpacks, and I'm going, well, if you got these jetpacks, why do you care about them getting the sandworm? You can just fly around, so you don't have to.
Weren't the jetpacks cool? Visually, did it not look impressive, like them floating up?
Cool. But I'm saying the point of having the jetpacks means you don't have to worry about the sandworm, so you can keep looking. So why are they taking the higher ground to go? It's like, you're wasting my time, movie. Stop setting everything up Stop spending so much time setting things up. It's already been done in the first movie.
Now,
You don't
I
have
have to take exception to one thing real quick. It's not wasting your time. You know it's 2.5 hours. So you've already committed to 2.5 hours of this. It's not
right.
wasting your time if you know going ahead of time that it's 2.5 hours.
No. The fact that it's 2.5 hours is not the problem. It's the same thing with Snyder's Justice League. You go in knowing it's 4 hours. That's fine. But when you're spending half the movie just pontificating and just walking around and just not doing anything, you're going, no, that's not acceptable. So if you, for those of you who had a problem with how long of a stretch, Zack Snyder's Justice League was, you have no excuse in justifying Dune 2. You have none. Because you can't have both. Because Dune 2 did exactly what Snyder's Justice League movie did. And apparently you all hated when Jack Snyder did it. And again, I'm not a Snyder fan or whatever, but you can't bitch and complain how Snyder did it with the Justice League, but it's okay when Villeneuve does it with Dune. Because it's again, I don't have a problem with slow-paced movies. Okay, because I did love.
I gotta disagree with you. Like the pacing on this one was just like breakneck speed. It's just like one thing after another. I know you only made it through like the first like 40 minutes, but the pacing on this one was so much better than the first, in my opinion. And I don't like the pacing in Snyder's, but I'm not a fan of the way that he cuts his movies. So again, I don't know. I'm not super against Snyder, but Villeneuve is a little different. There's only ever going to be one cut of the movie. He like will hide any deleted scenes or any of that shit. Like it sucks because there's like some Timothy Blake Nelson and some other stuff that got cut out of this movie that I'd love to see.
Again, I can't even discuss how it's how it veers from the actual book, because again, the majority of the people haven't really read the book, so it doesn't matter. And I'm going, okay, it's a director, it's his vision, it's allowed. But what kind of ticked me off is that a lot of the people are going, they're pointing out the villains in this movie, and I'm going, but there are no villains in Dune. Everybody's a bad guy, just in different degrees. That was the whole point of the Dune books.
That's the point of these movies. If you'd gotten to the end of it, you would have known that Timothée Chalamet's character actually embraces the villainous side that he's been trying to avoid this entire time.
He goes full Vader, man.
That's good. I'm not gonna. That's a good thing.
And they changed the Chani character to represent how we are supposed to feel about what's going on. And everybody missed that, because at the end of the film, Chani does reject Paul and leaves him there with his Empress and runs off to the wilderness all on her own, which is how the audience should be feeling, because that's the way Villeneuve wanted it to be. It's the downfall of a good character turning into the villain that he was trying to avoid. It's it's using religion as a crutch to enslave people and to take cover. It's all that. Even the mother goes really, really dark in her quest to seek out the weak and the scared, to enslave them in her religion that she's going on. So I mean, a lot of stuff happened after the burial and the sandworm training.
Okay, there was one funny scene in the beginning of the movie where I can't remember the character's name, but he keeps hyping up Paul, and he goes, Paul goes, I'm not the, oh shit, I forget the name.
Cataract or.
I go, I'm not here to lead you. I'm just here to learn your ways. Mm-hmm. And then the guy that's hyping up Paul goes,
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, he's the guy or whatever. I can't remember.
The leader.
The leader, right? He's too humble to admit that he is, therefore he is. And I'm going, did Denis Villeneuve watch The Life of Brian? Because that scene is like literally stolen right from that movie.
It totally is, and they call back to it like so many times as well. It's awesome. Like, yeah, I think he is aware of it, and I think he did that on purpose. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm reading.
Yeah, but he
purpose.
himself as a character is trying to fulfill the prophecies in which Villeneuve is trying to indict like Christianity in the same sort of way with the Old Testament using everything possible, referring back to the
No.
scriptures.
This is just
to
talking about the Bene Gesserits. It has nothing to do with our religions at all.
Absolutely, it does. He's indicting Christianity. He's indicting Muslims. He's indicting all religions, as well as indicting commerce in the way that they oppress the people. So all of this is, unless it's too veiled for the average viewer, all of that is just right there spilled out to show you how all of these things lead to a bad outcome. At least that's how I saw it.
Yeah, and then I think there's one other big change that we could kind of mention without like spoiling anything. But over the book, it takes place over like 3 years, and in the two movies, it takes place over like 6 months. So that kind of sucks. Like you don't get quite as much development, and then because of that time crunch, you can't exactly do some of the storylines that are in there. So
Yeah, like
but
the
it's a
introduction
pretty
of the
decent
sister.
adaptation. Well, I mean, she's there, but kind of weird. But yeah, it does change the ending of this movie a little bit.
Yeah, and it also ended as the same way that the first one ended, which leaves it up to possibility of more Dune coming.
Well, as long as there's not that much dialogue, because Villeneuve doesn't really like dialogue in his movies,
No,
which
Which
which,
is-
which makes Dune a good choice to apply that. I have to
yeah,
say.
but then you get longer burial scenes to illustrate the stuff you could have said earlier in the first film.
I wonder if he's going to regret redoing somebody else's work as much as he regretted doing what was that other one? The other movie he said he regretted having to remake.
Or Blade Runner.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to regret. I wonder if he's going to regret having done Dune as much as he regretted doing Blade Runner.
Well, if he's any kind of artist, he will. Because
Also,
he was happy with Blade Runner when it came out, and he did all the fine press for it, and he waited until it was on DVD or whatever to trash it. So maybe he'll
I
do
think
the same thing with Dune 2.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the
I
time
think
that he had in
really
between Dune
meant-
1 and Dune 2 was so crucial because there's so many things that were improved even on that first one with the especially graphics. I don't know, it looks visually impressive, but I'm sure as an artist you'd have some way to critique yourself and find what you should have done better.
Yeah, I mean, I think he more so meant like making a sequel of another filmmaker's film.
Well, I
Now, who
mean,
knows
taking
what he
on
meant, 'cause he
Dune
hates
though,
dialogue.
like each version is so iconic, and the book itself, like
Yeah.
I don't know, there'd have to be pressure
Yeah.
there as well. But I understand what you're saying.
So
Oh,
what
yeah,
are your thoughts? What's everybody
that?
else? I was just going to ask what's everybody else's thoughts.
I
Well,
loved it, man. Like I thought I was going to be disappointed. I usually don't like these two-part things, and I thought it retroactively could have ruined the first one. I thought in a lot of ways it was better. The pacing really helped. It does pick up quite a bit. I think you might have gotten through like the slowest part of it, and then it kind of just doesn't stop after a while. But I don't know. I do have some issues with it. I wish it was a little bit closer to the book, but can kind of understand why they didn't. And then they added a couple of elements. There are kind of factions in yeah, there's kind of factions that weren't there in the book. It's kind of an interesting thing, but because of that, they kind of change one of the characters, and I don't know if I really like that. But overall, I really dug it.
Oh, that's good.
and I'm excited because I'm going to actually go see it in about 4 or 5 hours, so I can't wait.
Hell yeah! I hope you have a better experience than Jada did. But
I mean, I'll tell you what. When I saw the first one, I had to watch the first one a couple times because when I saw it in theaters, admittedly, I ended up taking a snooze like right in the middle of it. Just kind of
yeah,
put me right out.
it's beautiful, but the pacing in it could be a little
Yeah,
bit more. It's
yeah.
a lot of
That-
show don't tell, so it's just
Yeah.
Where you fell asleep was right when you should have been going on your potty break. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly
I
the
thought
point.
I was okay because when I woke up, I didn't really even feel like I missed anything. I was still right there in the story and knew what was going on, so it was all right. But
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the movie upon a second viewing where I stayed awake the whole time for it. But yeah, so I'm. It's good to hear, like you said, that the pacing of this is a little bit. I'll be more than welcoming to a breakneck speed of pace. Anything would really to me be breakneck compared to the first one.
Well, if you can get past the first 45 minutes, you'll be fine.
Bob, that's a great review of the movie. This movie is really good if you can stay awake during it.
Listen, I know I'm not the only person in theaters that fell asleep during the movie.
Go in caffeinated. You'll enjoy the visual spectacle.
Hey, don't worry. I fell asleep during the first Lord of the Rings movie, so
Go to a dinner theater. There'll be plenty of opportunity for the waiters to walk past, and they won't take anything from the film.
I wish I had a dinner theater. We don't have anything cool like that.
All right, you know what?
IMAX is taken away. That's all we get here.
The great thing about Dune is you can go out and have a cigarette and not miss much.
Oh, I sneak my vape right in the theater, man.
Oh, really?
Boy. Yeah.
I was getting. I can't use that one because apparently they.
I really miss this, Jaded. You'll remember this. Sitting in the back of the theater, way up high, and watching the cigarette smoke billow through the projection beams. Man, that was just a different time period back then.
See, I'm right on the cusp where I'm pretty sure they stopped allowing smoking in theaters right before I came. I was an 80s baby, so missed all the good times like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Wonka Horror Experience. Anybody hear about that?
Yes, please.
Oh, that was hilarious. Kids need to learn sometime.
I got the peripheral of it. Apparently it sucked, and apparently something about jelly beans. That's all I really know.
No, no plural.
Jelly beans, sir.
Just
beans.
AI.
The girl said that she started off giving 3 jelly beans each to ration it, and then eventually she had to go down to 1 jelly bean each because she saw how many jelly beans.
Hear about those lucky first few.
Yeah, the lucky first few got 3 jelly beans each, and then after about, I guess, maybe half an hour, it was down to like 1 jelly bean each.
Were these like pre-sale tickets? Out of curiosity, does anyone
I believe
know?
that they were pre-sale tickets.
So how would you not buy an extra damn bag of jelly beans?
Well, here's the thing. And they were charging about $45 per head. Okay. And you think maybe they sold a couple of hundred tickets. Okay. Now they were probably planning on spending the entire budget in the pre-sale tickets. Okay. Just like a Kickstarter. Okay. So you sell the tickets, you get the money, and then you pay for everything. But when you only got a few hundred people signing up for it, you're going to wind up with like $1,300. Okay. And $1,300 isn't going to buy that many supplies when you have to build an entire thing out of it. So
AI could do it all for us, right? And then we don't.
You wind up with this type of thing happening. That's the most money is probably here in this lab setup right there.
I mean, it does look legit.
And of course, she's happy to be there. She's pretty sure she's not going to get paid. And I don't know what that is. But yeah, there's plenty of seating.
Of sweets. Apparently, somebody got more than just a jelly bean.
But you see here, they put stuff up here. I mean, they actually painted this out, in cardboard or whatever it is. So they spent their $1,500 on what they
Sonic
could.
There too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Somebody put that there.
My bad.
They did do the glitter rainbow thing. Okay, so it was inclusive. And of course, the jokes are coming. There's a Oompa Loompa. That's not really an Oompa Loompa. But
oh my god!
Wasn't there a TV show called Jersey something where one of the women were short and they always used to call her an Oompa Loompa?
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Someone called the police. Yes, they did call the police. They called Scotland Yard, as a matter of fact. Because when the people showed up and they saw that, it was more like the Firefest than it was an Oompa Loompa experience.
Yeah.
They started asking for refunds, like people who went to see Captain Marvel. And they were giving as many refunds as they possibly could. However, they hadn't made enough money to pay everybody back, so they wound up shutting down completely. And
Now,
'cause
wasn't all the advertising that they did for this done
Yeah,
using
AI.
AI?
yeah.
Which made it look beautiful.
Well, the couple of props they had looked pretty good. I mean, not the ender,
Not this
but,
guy here.
Yeah, but
This totally
that
original
bridge
character.
looked all right.
Yeah, some of it looks like they gave up and decided to try to turn it into like a haunted house instead.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
I mean, was it not a paradise of sweet treats?
Yeah,
You mean a
one.
paradise of sweet teats?
You're right.
Not according to
I
that
can see why
one
the cops
Oompa
were
Loompa.
called.
A pasadise of sweet teats.
I can't read. It
Your
fooled
no,
me.
you know what? Your mind fills in the blanks of what it should say.
That is true.
What the hell?
Catgacting.
Karchi tins.
What is that first word? I can't even pronounce it. Cat thing.
Yeah,
Catgacting.
Live performances. Karchi tons.
Holy shit, they let the AI really do all of this.
Dre lollipops.
They got lollipops, right?
Pasadise. They didn't have any lollipops.
No.
Yeah, but
There were 0 lollipops.
At least they spelled the word right.
Guess they could get them on false
So,
advertising. But yeah, this is one of the AI things.
So
there.
is this a case of a bunch of people getting together saying, hey, I think we could do this, we could raise some money, we could do this and, have a fun event for kids? Or is this a scam that where they got the money and we're like, well, we got to put up, if we just put up something, we're fine.
Enough money to be a total scam that they would make. Like maybe, I don't know.
50-50, okay? Because this is their website.
Oh.
And they are called the House of Illuminati. And
good name.
So they like the AI.
Definitely a scam. The Illuminati themselves should sue these people for defamation.
But all of this was written by AI, and you can tell it was written. A realm where fantasy. Oh. Hang on. A realm where fantasy and reality converge. Unparalleled immersive experience. Our journey is fueled by a passion for blending art, technology, and storytelling into unforgettable events. 100% AI.
Yes,
text is what that is. And so these are the types of events they want to put together: interactive, avant-garde, mystique galas, techno-mythical, secret soirees, and enchanted retreats. So they're very, very ambitious. And I think this is very close to, yeah, let's put out some curtains in the barn and put on a show. And then they used AI to, put it all together. So, and you see, they are spending money and they are renting the different places.
Why wouldn't they at least dim the lights? I mean, it seems like this is all full lighting. Like, wouldn't that help the immersive experience?
If it was a horror experience, yes. But if it's a kids event, no.
I would argue Wonka's pretty whorish. That's not right. It's in the realm of horror.
Yes, I found it scary, at least. The Wonka thing.
Yeah, but that's really only the boat scene. The boat scene is really the only over the top.
I don't know, man. Gene Wilder's pretty dark in that one, and then even the remake is, I don't know. Timothy Chalamet comes off as very dark to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I was talking about the one with
Johnny Depp.
Like the Johnny Depp one was more childish, abandoned.
No, he acted like an actual serial killer in that.
I'm surprised.
Of experience.
I'm surprised no red flags were raised at the fact that all advertisements for this was done in AI. That there were no physical pictures of anything that you would be experiencing, like at all. And yet these supposed parents were still willing to fork over $45 a piece to go.
Well, that brings up my next question: is that does AI necessarily mean it's a scam? I used AI to make this, and this is.
It depends what it is. Like for something like this,
yeah.
If it's supposed to be a live immersive experience, like you better see a picture of it or like some indication.
Yes.
seeing Chris
But like a
Pratt
thumbnail,
as
I don't
a
think so. Like
booster
everyone knows
gold.
thumbnails are supposed to be clickbaity, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's fair game.
You're
I think
also
same
not
with
charging
posters,
people
but-
$45 to look at it.
You have no idea.
That's the other thing. You're not.
Well, if
I got
somebody's
mouths
willing to
feed.
pay you $45 to look at it, by all means, take the money. Take the money.
But oh yeah, Gray. Not Gray. Jaded. I wanted to tell you real quick. Let me get rid of the banner. Let me hide that real quick. Wanted to show you that the Dune popcorn bucket is
Yeah, you
literally
missed part of the experience.
literally a hole in which you get corn.
You
It's
know,
a cornhole.
there are people that just don't understand the concept of the word cornhole. They really don't. I mean, it's,
Well, it got popular during the pandemic on when nobody else was doing any kind of sports. They were
I think
showing a
it's
lot of
been more-
cornhole.
I think it's been popular since the dawn of time, but I could be wrong.
Especially
But I
down
was
south.
It also doubled as a big fat cup holder for your big fat cup.
So that you can, drink your booze afterwards from sitting through that. Yeah.
And, it would have been great for some of your action figures.
oh my God, that actually works. I like that. I approve. I approve of that.
So, yes, the original Sarlacc pit. That's what that is. So, but that's what we had there earlier when we were talking about the thingy. So yeah, there was lemonade and jelly beans passed about. Not too much though, because they only had a certain amount because of their lack of funding. I don't think they brought too much money initially into it, and I think they were relying too much on ticket sales to put the rest of it together. They actually put on the event without they didn't come to an abandoned warehouse and see nothing and nobody there. There was actually people there to do stuff.
Mhm.
They contracted some actors who they didn't pay to be there, and they learned their lines, even though they were written by AI. And they tried and they failed is essentially what happened. And I really think that's what happened. I don't think it was a scam. I think they just sucked at their job. And so, they did worse than Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like even if it was a scam, like they make barely any money off of it, so it just isn't worth it. So I don't think it is a scam. It's just maybe if it got like big to a certain point, and then they did the other events, and then they got greedy with things, sure. But yeah, I think they just suck.
Somebody lead me to that poem that Brolin wrote about Timothy's popcorn bucket. I'd love to see that. That would be awesome.
I don't know. I think this is more of a cautionary tale of going. You can't go fund everything. You can't go fund, a thing like this. Like you can go fund, books or games and stuff, but you can't rely on. Because again, if you don't get enough of with a GoFundMe, if you don't get enough of the funding, the project's canceled. Whereas with this, it's like if you only got 50 people to show up, you're screwed.
Yeah, but you better have jelly beans for the 50 people.
Yeah.
Again, I understand that, but technically, I don't even know why they were giving out jelly beans in the first place. Like, why would that even be necessary as part of the experience?
They didn't.
Yeah, it seems more like a backhand. Like, really?
They missed an opportunity to sell branded chocolate and
You think
make
they could
some money.
afford branded chocolate?
Well, if it's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah,
You sell the chocolate for like $5-7 a bar.
Yeah,
and then you can start giving out refunds to people.
Yeah, if there's ever been a place that called for a chocolate fountain, it was this thing. And
you can't. It's like doing a theater run and going, okay, we're going to do this. We have this project for this theater idea. Can you go fund us, and then we'll just set up I imagine a movie was based off of a GoFundMe. and then only 1,000 people decided to donate $10. You can't make a movie off of that. You can't have. You have to. It's just a stupid idea in the first place. It's not a question of it being a scam or not or poorly done. It was a stupid idea that was bound to fail unless you had, 1,000 or 3,000 people willing to go to give you the money to be able to actually do anything worth doing.
It was bound to fail initially because they did not make enough money to cover anything. Had they made their initial investment and bought the Willy Wonka experience that they promised visually with the AI art, there wasn't enough people to pay it back.
But again, that doesn't make it like that maneuver doesn't work. Which is why companies go to investors and go, look, this is our project. Would you like to invest $100,000 into this project so that we can actually build the project and hopefully get people to come see the project? This is in the reverse. We don't have any money. We're gonna base your experience. Like what they should have done, which of course would have been even worse, unfortunately, is this experience is based off of your participation. The more of you that want to show up, the better the experience is going to be. Because that's literally what it was. It was literally based entirely on how many people were willing to actually invest and risk money on this. That's a stupid. That alone makes it a scam. That alone makes it a scam, regardless of whether it was badly done or not. Because you're telling somebody we haven't even built a stage yet.
But they didn't tell anybody, and I think that right there leads it more to scummy marketing, at least.
Right. Like I don't know. I just think it was a stupid. I'm glad. In looking back, I'm glad it failed because then other people are going to go, hey, let's try that scam idea too. Because if that had actually succeeded, then you'd have hundreds of people going, let's do that. Let's just go fund experiences and see if we can get away with it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to build. My dumb internet just went out. I am so sorry. I'm glad you had enough of it left to message us.
Oh.
He's probably doing that from his phone. That's fine, Gray. We will honor any thumbs, comments that you use on your phone for the rest of the show. And I think we agree that what they did was bad, what they did was wrong, and what they did.
No, it was good. It was a good lesson for kids, to be disappointed by everything.
Well, I always feel sorry for the kids. Whenever kids are involved, I feel sorry for that. But any parent who doesn't fully vet any situation they spend money on, it's a comedy gold to me. So,
they should have to recoup their losses. They should have videotaped all of the angry parents, put it on YouTube, and that would have gotten like 20 million views of people watching how pissed off the parents were at seeing this, like literally recording the kids' faces as they walk in of like, the hell is this? That would have been comedy gold. That I think would.
It looked a lot like a church event. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That scattered.
Yes.
But the props that they did have were top quality. The one or two items that they had, save the banners of AI art that they printed and stuck to the wall. I don't think they had the right to paint anything in there. So there's curtains up and everything else. It's a lot like what you would see at a convention that had 0 vendors.
Yeah.
I think you're right. A church event does describe it very well.
We are required to be here. Everybody's volunteering, and it looks like it.
Yeah.
The Willy Wonka experience, this is what happens when you have theater kids in charge. That's what you get, the Willy Wonka experience.
Yes, in Scotland.
Scotland.
No, I don't know where they was at. Who knows?
And Scotland Yard got involved. You said they literally had to come down there.
Yeah, I
If they
said
filmed it. See if I can do this real quick. If they filmed it, sell it as a VR immersive angry parent experience. Yeah, I can't do your voice. Your voice would have been perfect for that, Gray. So
instead of the Willy Wonka experience, you could have called it the Karen experience. I want to see your manager. Okay, he's over there giving out jelly beans. Go right ahead.
He's hiding behind the mirror, scaring children.
He's hiding behind
Yes.
the mirror, scaring children. What, you think he took the crappy money he got from this and went to the Bahamas? I don't think so, baby.
I think having failed at several things, not necessarily this big or this noticeable, when you end an experience like this, you are literally out money. Whoever put this together is out of money. They didn't earn a bit on this. They didn't even earn lunch money. I think they gave away what they had and then shut it down because they couldn't give away anymore because they didn't have it. There was no money to be had. They in the hole, and they still owe the actors. So who knows? Maybe we'll see them. We'll see a news article about how they declared bankruptcy and moved on to the next thing, and the website will go dark.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
maybe
website's
that
still up by
inspired
now.
more.
For one, I'm looking forward to whatever their next venture is. Can't be
Oh,
any
same.
worse than this.
Yeah,
You
like-
know what their next one's going to be? It's going to be the.
Man, Bob, what do you mean it can't be worse?
Here, it's going to be the Iron Claw experience. That's what the next one is.
Yeah.
Poor Von Erich.
I'll give you an example of how it could be worse. Their next project could be called the A24 experience.
Oh. Well, if they do that, that means they're actually going to have some quality? Is that what you mean?
No, because instead of having an AI write it, they're going to have the A24 directors copy off of the AI, and you're going to go, God, I missed the AI version.
Speaking of depressing news, Taylor Swift and Rihanna saved AMC's third quarter.
You misspelled Rihanna.
Their two concert movies put them over their projections, which were very, very sad projections to begin with because of the last year's movies that were out. They all did poorly. However, the Taylor Swift and Rihanna films brought in at roughly double of what they predicted to have in the third quarter, which was basically going to be a loss. So, Taylor Swift and Rihanna made AMC some money in the last
I didn't even know
quarter
they
of
had
the year. Yes, and that's the point I think behind that is that they don't need Hollywood to make money, and the theaters can find a way to be fine by having stuff like that, concert films show up. So Hollywood,
Just
you're
gotta
on
have
notice.
stuff people are interested in seeing. Crazy thought, isn't it?
Perry White is still not white. For those people who are keeping count, James Gunn and his people have hired a Perry White actor who happens to be what Chill likes to say is melanated. And you got two types of races complaining about it. Okay. The first one will tell you that they're replacing all the white people in the movies. And that's a silly statement to have, silly position to have. Other people will complain that he's not white and shouldn't be black because he was a white person to begin with. And they should go back to doing what they're doing because this waters down the representation and they should be lead actors being blackinated.
Yeah, but isn't this multiple times now? He's been black, just like Catwoman. So
this is the second time in a feature film that Perry White will be not so white. He was in the Zack Snyder films series. He was played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
And they got a new guy. And his role is going to be so small, he wasn't even at the table reading. They didn't even cast him yet. So it's not even that important of a role to get excited about or angry about. Or
he's
anything.
going to be an insert shot somewhere in the movie.
My
Someone's
thing
going to
is
yell out
this.
Perry White, and he's going to have to turn and face camera, and that'll be it.
Here's my thing, okay? Yes, we had a black Johnny Storm, okay? But we had that guy had to play Johnny Storm to get him out of the Fruitville Station roles he was in, okay? So once he was Johnny Storm and that movie failed, he moved on to playing Apollo Creed's son and leading role, okay? So you can't be mad at whoever's playing Perry Not White because this is a stepping stone to the leading role that he will be playing eventually, because all roles are stepping stones. You play a background actor, you play a supporting character, and then you play the lead if you are so inclined to do so. Okay. The thing about James Gunn is that he only casts who he wants. Okay. He did hold auditions for Supergirl, but he cast who he initially pictured in his head as Supergirl. He gave her an audition as well so that it would be flat and above board. Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna audition everybody we want to audition, but in the end, I will hire my friends.
Yes.
That's what James Gunn does. So Perry White is his friend, the guy who's playing him. So,
and this is the guy people think is going to save DC. Okay, and good luck with that.
We don't know anything until we see something. Okay.
You can't base it off of a casting decision. Plus, I mean, the casting decision is fine. This guy is a fine actor.
It's based off of his MC. It's based off of his movies. I'm basing it off of what he's done in the MCU.
And what's wrong with what he's done in the MCU?
Yeah.
Oh my!
It made money.
Please,
Don't
get him started on this.
What did he have to do with Thor? He didn't do Thor Ragnarok.
You said your defense was it doesn't matter what James Gunn did. His movies made money, and I'm going, yeah. So did Thor Ragnarok, but it's still a piece of crap movie. So
did the Mario Brothers. The Mario Brothers, the Mario Brothers movie made money, and that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and it was a piece of crap.
Right, but I'm saying people are going, oh, these movies suck, regardless of whether or not they make money or not. So the people are going, okay, we want good comic book movies. That's what James Gunn is going to do. Except James Gunn doesn't make good comic book movies.
Yeah, he does.
Guardians 3 wasn't a good comic book movie?
Yeah, Guardians 3, Guardians 1, Suicide Squad. Now.
This is my point I'm trying to make, is that he is not faithful to the comic book characters from the comic books. Okay? Now, you take all the Guardians of the Galaxies, you take the Suicide Squad movies. He was not faithful to those comic book characters' origins. Now, because 90% of the audience had no idea who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, it didn't matter. Whenever he screws up the characters from the comic books, he's doing it to characters that the 90% of the audience doesn't know about. Here's the problem. If he goes to DC, the majority of the audience knows who Superman is. They know who Batman is. So when he does his take on those characters, they're going to go, oh, now I understand what Jade is talking about.
Okay, you're going. I think you've gone way off the plot here, because I'll agree with you as far as the unknowns, like Guardians of the Galaxy, which I wasn't a big fan of prior to the movies because didn't know who the fuck they even were. Like most people don't know who they were. The guy's not going to come in to a tentpole franchise like a Superman or what's he going to do? Is he going to say Krypton didn't explode? Batman's parents didn't get shot? He's not going to change. I don't know why people get like this with this guy.
Superman Returns, Batman v Superman. Everybody's complaining about how they changed Superman from his origins. Superman's supposed to be hopeful and wonderful and caring. No, what did the guy do? He turned him into. I tried to make him into Batman. People. So what? These are all tentpole characters.
Here's the thing, though.
Characters have screwed over in the past. But so why is this surprising?
You can't really blame him for changing the characters in the Marvel DC universe simply because they do that with every single character simply because the comic books, there are things in the comic books they themselves want to ignore. Okay. So they give the mandates on what could be done, what's not to be done, what you can play with, what you can't play with. So James Gunn changes were mandated by the Marvel higher ups, the hierarchy. Okay. Now let's see what he did with DC characters since we're talking about his version of DC and what he's done. He did do the Suicide Squad. Okay. Did he change majorly any of the characters in a way that was detrimental to comic book fans?
Well, Jaded would say the villain at the end.
Well, give him an opportunity. Give him an opportunity.
Starro the Conqueror. He literally negated the whole. He took the idea of Starro the Conqueror and made him a giant kaiju. Okay,
but that was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't the real Starro though. So
that wasn't. Oh my god. Okay, you are taking characters that nobody knows about and going. You have carte blanche. Because 90% of the audience doesn't know and won't care.
However, you said that DC fans do know the characters, okay? Yeah, and Starro has a very, very, I think it was, Cole. I think you're wrong about that. I think this was the Starro that was meant to be in the DC EU or whatever, because that's what they put it out. It looked like Starro. It felt like Starro. It was a giant Starro. I mean,
even had a big text bubble that said it.
So for you to say that this was not the character from the DC comic books, I think you're incorrect. I think Jaded is right that this is a character that they changed that was detrimental to what was going on in the storyline. Like you can't have now the Justice League facing off with Starro the way he did in the comic books when he faced off against the Justice League.
So hold on. Let's say that. So James Gunn may very well be faithful to Superman and Batman or whatever. But you're all going, I hope he does Brainiac, and you're going to go. You think he's going to be faithful to the Brainiac of the comic books, like he was faithful to Starro the Conqueror? No, he's not. And I'm going. Once you have James Gunn get his hands on characters that you do know and you do love. I think you're going to be disappointed. You're going to go, this is not my Superman. Or he was
pretty faithful with Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. Again, he was faithful with that because he loved that character. He loved that character's version in the comic books. But if he doesn't like the character's origins, he's going to go, I'm just going to make my own version.
I mean, it seems to like Superman a lot with the care he's putting into it so far, but I mean, he's been faithful with other things.
He may very well do good with the main characters, but I'm saying a lot of people are going do Brainiac or do what was the other one that everybody keeps asking him to do? Like they're basically going anybody but Lex Luthor, but I think Lex Luthor is going to be the main villain in the first one.
He's going to be a secondary villain in the first one. I think he's long-term casting.
I do just want to say, with Starro, that was more so a question because I didn't know, but I heard people, I believe, say before, like it might not be the main Starro, it might be like a different version of Starro, like a kind of imposter
version. Not my Starro.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, I mean, I don't really care like what changes he makes to the comic books because they all do their own different things, and as you said, with like the MCU board people and everything, so I really don't care. Like it would be obviously as accurate as possible would be nice, but as long as the changes aren't just stupid and make no sense, like BVS and stuff, and which I did think, the changes in Guardians and the Suicide Squad, like, again, I would have liked more accuracy there, but they at least made sense, a lot of the changes. And but the main thing also, just as long as the film is at least good, like I don't really care about how comic accurate it is or not, as long as it's enough and it doesn't do things that just
he wasn't
completely
comic accurate
break
with
the characters.
Ratcatcher, and I really didn't think he improved on Ratcatcher.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the character because
he didn't improve on Polka Dot Man. He didn't improve on anybody. I'm sorry.
I mean, I thought the actors did a good job. I liked the write-in. Thought they had entertaining scenes, and so I'm fine with that.
With what he did, and again, this is not just okay. I'm not pointing out that James Gunn is the only one who's done this, and DC is the only one who's done this. It's been done in both DC and in Marvel, and it's been done by multiple directors, and it's been done in multiple movies. I'm just saying that this is. I'm just warning. I'm just asking you guys to prepare yourselves. It's been done with characters you didn't know about. Be prepared to what he's going to do with characters you do know about, because for the last couple of years, you've told James Gunn you can do whatever you want with the characters you're given. We don't have a problem with it.
I've never said that.
I would ask you this then, Jada. Do you have this same feeling every time a new writing team comes on to a comic staple? So when how is it any different than a new writing team coming onto an already existing comic book property that thus makes changes to an already existing comic book character that everybody knows and has established lore? How is it any different?
Because when I go into a movie, I have the mentality that the director is given carte blanche to do his interpretation and his take on a character. So if he wants to do a certain take on a character, that is what he's doing, and he has been given that trust to actually do an interesting version of that character.
But there's still an outline in which they have to adhere to.
Agree. But when you change the personality of take Daredevil, okay? If the director who is given Daredevil, they're able to do whatever they want. If they want to interpret his justice, like how he decides to pursue justice and be a lawyer, that's fine. But if you take the Daredevil character and his version of doing justice is going the Punisher route, then I have a problem, because that's not the character.
Okay.
You can have Daredevil pursue justice. That's different than how the comic book portrayed it, but you still have to portray it equal to what the character was like. He still has to be a lawyer in the movie. You can't suddenly make Matt Murdock in the movie. You know what? I want to make Matt Murdock an accountant in his daily life. No, you don't get to do that, because you're no longer making it a Daredevil character. What's his face? Drax is my favorite example. Drax was in the comic books. Drax literally exists to kill Thanos. That is his entire purpose in the comic book. And whether you want to blame James Gunn or whether you want to blame the studio, they went, nah, we don't want that version of Drax. We want him to be some muscle-bound guy who's stupid and, takes everything literally. I go, fine, that you can have that character. Don't call him Drax. Call him Brax or call him a new character. But don't take existing characters, have them look like the comic book version, and then totally change their entire character and say that that's the same thing.
Didn't Drax want to kill Thanos in the movies?
Yeah, but for the same reason, granted, because he killed his mom and dad, but he's an undead being. He is literally supposed to be, he was risen from the dead with the sole purpose to want to kill Thanos. But they went, nah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have him be a prisoner and just some guy. And he's just as bad. He was just as mad at Ronan as he was at Thanos. Again, it's like you don't get to make your version of a character and expect a guy like me to go, yeah, fine, that's okay with it. Mm-hmm. You can do that, and it could end up being a good character, but you're not faithful to the comic books. And I'm saying he's been given that leeway. The audience has told James Gunn, you can do that. So he's taking that mentality and he's going to be bringing that to the DC movies. And I'm saying, be prepared to have that mentality be applied to your DC characters that you do know. I'm not saying he's going to screw it up. I'm just saying, be prepared.
Could they have done Drax like that to make Thanos look more of a threat? Bry asks.
Yeah, because again, the biggest example of how they made Thanos a threat was him kicking the Hulk's ass. That was how they established Thanos was a threat. That was it. There was nothing else to establish how powerful he was. Because you could have had a geek, you could have had some little guy, as long as he's got the Infinity Gauntlet, he's got the same power level as Thanos. Except the idea was before Thanos had the gauntlet, he was still a powerhouse. He could still, stand toe to toe with the Silver Surfer. He could still stand toe to toe with Warlock, even without the gauntlet. So
he was in charge of Ronan. I mean, Ronan, is that the right name? Is that the name?
Yeah,
Ronan the Accuser. Okay. Ronan was afraid of him. So that establishes him as that. And then Drax couldn't take in hand-to-hand combat Ronan. So that put him at a different power level. So I think Thanos is really established well within the context of the film as being
well, no, the reason he was, yeah, except that's the problem is though, Rosales, is that the reason Ronan was scared of Thanos wasn't due to his power level, but because of his he was scared of Thanos like somebody would be scared of Caesar in Roman times. Not because Caesar was this powerful individual, but because he controlled millions of followers. It was he had power in his numbers and what he ruled. Thanos was powerful like Caesar was powerful in the movies.
But he was also as powerful as he turned out to be against the Hulk. So it's safe to say that Ronan knew how powerful he was before that was established in the film.
Right, but I'm saying the only scene that establishes that was the fight against the Hulk. Everything else was basing it off of the fight with the Hulk. In other words, you didn't see Ronan with the hammer. I'm saying you didn't see Ronan with the hammer go up against Thanos and Thanos just backhand him. It was just like, oh, Ronan is scared of Thanos because of what Thanos did to the Hulk. Everybody's scared of Thanos because of what we saw Thanos do to the Hulk. There wasn't anything establishing that Thanos was a major powerhouse. I mean,
except Ronan fearing him. That's
Ronan fearing him. That's it. Nobody else was scared of him.
Well, his daughters weren't that scared of him. So.
No, because they knew what they could do to him. Right? But I mean, I'm getting off topic. I apologize. I ramble.
No,
it's fine. We try to keep up. We try to keep up as best we can.
The problem is one stupid leads to another stupid, which leads to another stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever.
That should be a book. You're going to write that soon? I would buy that. We would pitch it on the show.
Yeah. I mean, look, as long as it isn't like Man of Steel level of like breaking the character, I don't really care. Yes, I yes, and if it happens, and yeah, I'll criticize it, but as long as it isn't like that level of it, then I don't care. As long as it's a great film, and James Gunn has made well-made films. He's one of the best right now making comic book films, just on a well-done standpoint and a quality standpoint. Yes, and with visual storytelling. So I don't really care if there's like some minor changes. That doesn't matter as much to me. What matters?
I don't care about minor changes.
Yeah, and also for people like being afraid, like, oh, he's only done like comedy films and stuff. Okay, you clearly don't know much about filmmaking.
Happens to be in a unique position to choose which George Lucas he can become. Okay. He can become George Lucas #1, who actually listened to his peers and his wife and made the changes accordingly. Or he can be George Lucas 2.0, who didn't listen to anybody and surrounded himself with yes men. Okay. We are in a prime position. In a prime position here with his first film, which he's already changed the name of from Superman Legacy to Superman.
Which I like.
Before
Which I like.
I'm sorry, Rosal, hold on. Bob, as an example, you have people going into this movie freaking out not only over the name change, but they're freaking out over the S symbol.
I'm fine with both.
I have no problem with the S symbol. I don't care either way.
Neither do I. It's about time it gets used like that.
But those are crybabies saying that's the S symbol from Kingdom Come. He better not be doing a Kingdom Come movie. Blah 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 blah.
You're having an audience who are going in already ready to tear apart anything about it that is a variant from what their version of Superman's supposed to be. Just seeing that the S symbol has freaked people out. So I'm going. So you and Cole and a lot of other people are going in without that prejudgment. And again, I'm going in without that prejudgment.
Well, that's because I don't get freaked out at minor little things like that. Costume changes, shit. That shit don't bother me. Like you said, it's more of the essence of the character. You know what I'm saying? That's where it is. So, like you said, if this guy goes in and totally changes what Superman stands for, who he is as a person, his values, his upbringing, then yeah, I might have a little bit of an issue.
Corn Sweet sounds like something that would come from Kansas. Okay, so he's chosen him by that name.
Yes,
David Cornsweet, whatever his name is, and he stands 6'4", 6'5", something like that. So he's
perfect height.
He's taller than me, and the lowest lane he chose is probably about 5 even or less. Okay,
perfect.
So you're getting that anime version of Superman up here, Clark up here, Lois really down here.
But Rosales, that doesn't matter in the movies because Sylvester Stallone was short and they just put him on a box whenever he was going with his.
No, what I'm saying is that all of these choices are gearing up to separate his Superman from the previous versions of Superman. Okay.
Yes.
And as the S kind of solidifies that he's going in a totally different direction than anybody is willing to think that he should. Okay. So he's developing a Superman brand, a DC brand that should be unparalleled. And I'm not saying it's the greatest. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm saying he's in a unique position to fail spectacularly or just get a thumbs up and say, yeah, boss, you done good. Because no one's going to pat him on the back like and cream all over him except for maybe K-Dot when he makes a movie that breaks $1 billion. Okay.
I'm saying you take into consideration you have an audience that will literally make or break whether or not they like the fact that Superman is wearing trunks or not. I mean, seriously, this is what the fan base has become. It's like, yeah, the movie was good, but he should have had trunks. So 6 out of 10. Yeah. Like that's the fan base. The movie was good. I love the character, but he has the wrong S. 4 out of 10.
Is that really the fan base, though, or is that just people on Twitter complaining?
Who consider themselves part of the fan base. They still consider themselves part of the fan base, Bob. Whether they are or not, they're still part of the fan base. To me,
that just comes off as the same people that sit there and complain about it, but yet are the first ones to go and spend money on a ticket for it.
Right, so that they can complain about it. That's why they're going. The majority of people a lot of the people who are bitching about the Marvels, right? They didn't go they didn't go hoping it was going to be a good movie. They went in knowing it was going to suck, so they went to the movie so that they could make a video bitching and complaining about the movie.
Well, isn't the smart thing to do is like what we did with Madam Web? We wanted to see it so we could complain about it, and we did the good thing. We didn't pay for it.
Right. But all the people that want it, you have to understand, there are a lot of YouTubers whose career is based off of complaining about these movies.
Good for them.
You figure I'd be one of them. But here's the thing. After about 20, 40 minutes, if I can't handle the movie, I stop. I didn't even make it through the Marvels. I think I made it about 40 minutes into the Marvels, and I'm going, nothing is making sense. Why am I watching this?
Did you get the black girl magic?
What do you mean?
Take that as a no.
There's a section in the film, the Marvels, where Monica Rambeau is one of them. One of the Marvels is falling and can't fly, and Nick Fury tells Monica Rambeau, "You need to fly up there and catch her." And she says, "I can't fly." And he says, "You can do it." He says, "I've never done it before." And he yells at her, "Black girl magic!" And then
Are
she
you
takes
serious?
off. And she takes off into the air. Yes, I'm dead serious.
That's amazing. Somebody wrote that.
Okay,
And-
now Bob, imagine that level of script writing with James Gunn's Superman movie.
See, I can't because he's competent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he
that's the
spent
thing.
the
He's
entire
competent.
writer's strike writing the script.
Yeah, and he wrote it himself. Listen, I have a soft spot for the guy from the fact that he came up through trauma and Lloyd Kaufman and
that's
learned
hilarious.
guerrilla filmmaking. You know what I mean? No
I know.
budget, no talent, do it yourself filmmaking.
He wrote Tromeo and Juliet.
Yes,
Caesar.
which is one of my favorite Tromaville films of all time. It's Tromeo and Juliet. So I always have a built-in soft spot for the guy. I think the guy gets a lot of unnecessary flack from people just because he told some edgy jokes a decade ago. That
Yes, and they weren't actually like
Yeah,
keyword or anything like that.
It's causing controversy. I swear to God, I think this is causing as much controversy as the Flash costume when it was.
Good. Let it cause it. You know what? Because I'll take the traffic of it because you know what? To me, look at that. That looks great. I don't know why. Just the simplicity of it looks amazing. And you know what? It looks 100 times more alien and otherworldly than, I don't know, like I said before, than just a fat redesigned Earth-looking ass with a Joseph Campbell quote inscribed through the middle of it in Kryptonian. Okay.
It means ho.
Yeah.
Again, I don't base a movie based off of the logo. But again, it's fine for me. I guess whatever. I'm not watching the movie for the logo.
I mean, to me, that looks great. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
It's not overly designed. It's not insanely textured with, you know, little patterns that form little S's or little chainmail on them. It's
I didn't even notice. Hold on. You're saying that one of the Superman outfits did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't notice because I didn't care.
Let's see. So in Man of Steel and BVS and all of Zack Snyder stuff, there was a chainmail design that was given to the suit itself, and then the S itself in the middle had a Joseph Campbell quote. Starting in BVS, it happened.
Are you serious? It had a quote? I didn't even notice.
Written in Kryptonian, yeah.
It was so shit.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because it makes no sense.
All I saw more. Swear to God, all I saw was an S, and that was it.
I want to see more superhero films again, where when they're fucking fighting, the suit actually rips apart. That would be great.
Then yes, a battle damage on a suit would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm tired of just straight up clean hero suits all the time.
Well, I always loved it because I can't. It's an old quote from the comic books, and I can't remember if it's his mom either made the suit or his mom just made the cape.
See, and this goes to, it depends on everything's always dependent on who's writing at the time. That determines their power levels, that determines their set of powers, that determines their backstory, little things like that. There's some instances where Mama Kent did make the whole thing together for him, made it all. Found the S logo in his ship and just added that to the suit, and there you go. Here you go, son. Off you go. There's all different things.
Okay, Bob, when I say changing from the origin, I'm not talking about who made the suit. I'm not talking about James Gunn goes, he bought the suit at a costume shop because he was desperate. I'm not going to go, oh, that's unfair to the character. He's changed the origin. I'm not worrying about stuff like that. I'm not worrying about minor stuff. That is that stuff like the director wants to add as a little twist. That's not the changes I'm talking about.
I don't know, but this still to me looks stupid.
It does. I mean,
I didn't think this was a good design at all. I don't think. No.
Again, all I see is blue and red, and I see an S. That's all I see.
You could see the interlinkings of every it does. It's supposed to resemble like ancient chainmail almost.
Oh, it's supposed to look like chainmail. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I guess.
Which that's fine, but they don't spend enough time on Krypton in the beginning, even talking about any of their suits, why they have battle suits, why a scientist who was born a scientist, only to be a scientist, has any sort of military training whatsoever. But whatever.
And this one has.
So are you saying Superman's a Mary too?
No, I'm saying Jarrell was.
So, even though this isn't fabric, it's got a fabric style pattern to it.
Yeah.
Right.
That it looks like you remember in cars they used to have fabric over the plastic covering on like the arms of the on the inside of the doors of a car.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You could have done the same thing with some leather and made it look like a sort of upholstery.
I see this picture. And my only concern is why is there snow on it? I want to know the backstory of why there's snow on it. Where is he?
A lot of people are excited about it being the Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude?
Why else would it have snow on it? Unless it's not snow and he's, insulating Ma Kent's house back in Smallville. Got it.
Okay, hold on. How do you know he's not making snow angels in this scene?
That is true.
That would be freaking awesome. I think if he was autistic, if Kent was autistic, it would be fantastic and answer a whole lot of questions. It would be why Superman believes what he believes.
That's something I would have a problem with. You cannot make Kent autistic.
It would be why he's so dead set in black and white, good versus evil, Ma and Pa Kent, Smallville. The whole thing screams autism.
I do not want Forrest Gump to be my Superman, okay? I do not. If you make Forrest Gump my Superman, I'm going to get pissed. Oh, I am going to get pissed.
I'm not going to hurt you, Lois.
Do you know how much of an automatic hit this movie would be if they just came out and said Superman's on the spectrum?
That would be awesome.
Oh, God, no.
It makes a whole lot of sense. It makes a whole lot of sense.
I don't care.
It's got Kryptonian Asperger's.
Yes.
If in this movie they make Superman bi, I'm gonna fucking freak.
I'm gonna ask the audience here. Let's find out. Do you want Superman to be on the spectrum to make all of his points of views make sense? Let us know in the comments below whether that's something you'd be interested in.
I'm sure South Park already did that.
Who? South Park?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they already did that.
Well, who cares? Everybody. There've been movies made about Superman since last century. I don't mind doing this again. I'll do it again all I want.
I wish Bollywood would make another Superman movie again, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love those things.
I need to see Superman dancing with Spider-Woman after beating up a gang of thugs.
I don't have a
clip
of that.
God.
Was it the Mexican Batman or the Indian Batman?
Indian Batman, I think, is what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's all of those. Indian Batman, but there is a Superman the movie one where it's him and Spider-Woman after they beat up some thugs. They just,
Yeah,
gotta
you
have a whole
downloaded the
dance
wrong
number.
movie. That was the wrong torrent. What that was.
I thought I was getting Superman 78, but
because we have a Gardic phone up and ready to go. So we got it in the private chat there. I can put it again, I think.
Oh, I'd love to stay, guys, but I got to head out. Sorry about this, Rosales. Thanks for having me on.
Fine. That's why I'm asking, because we can skip this, or we can keep going and play it, or
Oh no, I just got ahead of nice.
Yeah, you got a thing.
I got a thing.
You got a thing. I appreciate that about you too. So, all right, take care. Thanks for stopping by, Jaded. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Oh God, if I ever have the energy to actually bother watching the Marvels or Dune 2, I'll probably make videos explaining to you how stupid the movie is, because God knows you aren't going to figure it out on your own. So
45 minutes at a time from your phone while you're on the can. That's how you'll be able to make it through there.
I'll give these movies that. I can last longer from these movies than I can in A24 movies. So they're at least better than A24 movies.
There you go. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day, buddy.
Yeah.
Bob, you want to play Gartic Phone, or?
I would love to play. I'm following your link here. Give me 1 second, because it's having me log into the Discord.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you linked the wrong one where you have to verify that for some reason.
Yeah. But look, you're there.
Am I in there?
After like 10 minutes of doing it, yeah.
Anybody in the comments want to play? Let me know. I'll share the link with you, and you can.
Yeah, well, I think you would have to, because it would only be 3 people. So.
Is that still not on repeat?
Oh, nice. While we're waiting, I do have to say just again, people who I've heard so many people, like James Gunn has only directed comedy films, so he's going to be terrible at this. It's like, it really isn't difficult for a director to change genres or do anything like that, especially if they have dramatic moments in their stuff. That's comedies, or the films are good and they know what they're doing. Like, people who are worried or complaining about that just seem to not know much about how films are made.
I'm in there.
Yay! So let's see. Yep. Okay. Well, let's do this thing. If nobody else wants in from the comment section, we will move on. What do I want to do? Normal, secret, knockoff, icebreaker, masterpiece, missing piece?
I'm fine with whatever. I'm new to this game, so.
Oh, okay. Well then, sorry. Let's just get started. All right, I guess we're picking this up on a different day.
Jesus Christ. Yep, next week, I guess.
What a show it's been. It's been a good one. Next week, we will talk about different things. And
maybe
we'll talk about the same things over and over again until you finally get it through your thick skull. Who knows what's going to happen? But we will leave you with this and make sure you have a great day.
I wet my bed in my 20s because I drank 90 ounces of beer and blacked out. But I never made it to the bathroom. I woke and found, to my horror, my sheets were stained with a yellowish hue. My jeans were soaked. I couldn't remember how